Chapter 151. Zhu Hong was even more shocked. What was the background of this native called Su Yin? He had even mastered the Sutra of the Future and the Immortal Buddha, immeasurable technique of the Buddhist sects. It was rumored that the Sutra of the Future was one of the three great scriptures of the Buddhist sects, while the Immortal Buddha, immeasurable technique, was one of the most powerful techniques of the Buddhist sects. Zhu Hong had once met an eminent monk of the Buddhist sects who used the Immortal Buddha, immeasurable technique to kill an expert across a galaxy. Su Yan's Immortal Buddha, immeasurable technique was naturally inferior to the secret techniques of the Buddhist sects. However, he had mastered the opening chapter. If this were to spread, it would cause an uproar. The Sutra of the Future that Bamboo Moon had imparted to Su Yin was only the opening chapter. The opening chapter contained a portion of the Immortal Buddha, immeasurable technique. These two scriptures should be one. However, even if it was the opening chapter, it would cause a bloodbath if it was leaked. Boom! This power seemed to come from the future. Su Yin seemed to have stolen a great power from his future self and used the Immortal Buddha, immeasurable technique to cross the future and cross the sea of bitterness to come to this world. Even Zhu Yuankuei's primordial spirit was shaken by Su Yan's Immortal Buddha, immeasurable technique. Even his primordial spirit was greatly damaged. Roar! Su Yan roared into the sky and spat out golden ripples. His entire body was released like a sea of killing intent. He continuously used the Big Dipper fist and exhausted his foundation to use the power of the great divine ability to attack the void where Zhu Yuankuei was. At this moment, the void was trembling as if it was going to be penetrated by the Big Dipper fist. Ah! Zhu Yuankuei screamed as his primordial spirit flickered. Why was the primordial spirit of a void refinement realm cultivator so terrifying? Because it could become one with the void. Then, among the Tao sect realm experts, only peak experts could shake the power of the void. Now, Su Yan's Big Dipper fist made the void reverberate with the sound of rolling thunder. For a moment, Zhu Yuankuei's primordial spirit was about to be shattered by Su Yan. Kill! As if he had gone mad, Su Yan wildly slashed at the void and summoned the Star Pagoda to suppress the void. He wanted to shatter the void into pieces. If it wasn't for Zhu Yuankuei, EC Yin wouldn't have become a zombie. He only had 3 years. Once the time was up, EC Yin would definitely die. Thinking of this, Su Yan's eyes narrowed, and his killing intent boiled like a sea. The void trembled, and Zhu Yuankuei's void returning Yuan Shan was on the verge of collapsing. His battle prowess was greatly reduced, and he let out a miserable cry. Fortunately, Zhu Hong arrived in time and prevented Zhu Yuankuei's Yuan Shan from collapsing. Bastard! Zhu Hong's expression was extremely ugly. He realized that another one of his subordinates had fallen. Yuan and the others had already begun their encirclement. Countless cultivators from the Huaxia Alliance rushed over. Coupled with the banners of demons from the Tai Baokai, the area within a radius of several thousand miles was sealed off. Once all his subordinates were killed, even if Zhu Hong could recover, he wouldn't be able to stop the entire Huaxia Alliance by himself. Zhu Hong didn't expect to be defeated so badly. The heavenly coffin was hidden on Earth. Once he brought it back, the entire Ancestral Hall would be in an uproar, and the Ancestral Patriarch would personally receive him. If he died on Earth, everything would be gone. I must spread the news. Once the big shots of the Ancestral Hall arrive, they could destroy the entire Earth. My opportunity is on Earth. Earth! Zhu Hong's eyes were red. He didn't want to lose everything. The suppression of Earth was indeed shocking. Even if the universe's strongest cultivators were to come here, they would be suppressed. However, it also depended on the level of the cultivator. If the Ancestral Patriarch of the Ancestral Hall appeared, the entire starfield would tremble. Destroying Earth would be a piece of cake. You can't run away. Su Yan's eyes were filled with coldness as he watched Zhu Hong retreat. He swooped down and took out his 10-story Star Pagoda, pressing down on Zhu Hong. You can't stop me if I want to leave. Zhu Hong said coldly. When I come back, the billions of people on Earth will pay for their sins. You asked for it. The purple gold gourd glowed and spat out strands of purple divine light. They fell down like a divine waterfall and intertwined with the aura of the divine Tao. They blocked the incoming star pagoda. In fact, he even summoned a silver battleship that shot through the air like a bolt of silver lightning, carrying him out of the area. Just what I wanted. I was just thinking about how to kill you. Su Yin wasn't in a hurry. Now that he and Zhu Yuan had joined forces, it wouldn't be so easy to kill them. But to get the Ancestral Hall to send reinforcements, this wasn't something that could be done in a short time. The silver battleship had already docked near the snow mountain. Zhu Hong looked at the snow mountain unwillingly. He had gone to the bronze gate, but he didn't have the ability to open the heavenly coffin. Wait until the Ancestral Hall's experts come and take away the heavenly coffin. At that time, the Ancestral Patriarch will definitely pay attention to me and even nurture me. Zhu Hong took a deep breath and suppressed the greed in his heart. He and Zhu Yuan stood in the Starry Sky Formation. The Starry Sky Formation was activated again. Waves of starlight emerged and swept out with the power of the galaxy. It spread out and began to sense the location of the Mother Array. You still dare to come? Zhu Hong's eyes flashed with a cold light. When he saw Su Yin chasing after him, he laughed angrily. Su Yin, I'll remember you. I hope you don't run away. Otherwise, everyone on this planet will be buried with you. Su Yin's eyes looked at the Starry Sky Formation. The huge formation disk was intertwined with countless starry sky patterns. When it woke up, it swallowed an immeasurable amount of essence and even attracted the power of the outer space. Su Yin circled around the Starry Sky Formation. This scene made Zhu Hong's face turn cold. He sneered. What? You still want to open the Starry Sky Formation? Do you think you've cultivated a divine ability? Hearing this, Su Yin said calmly, What's the big deal about opening a Starry Sky Formation? Who knows? I might even be able to travel to the outer realms with the help of the Grand Formation. In your dreams. Zhu Hong's expression was very ugly. He had forgotten that Su Yin was also a strange person. He still has a Genesis brush. Zhu Hong's scalp turned numb when he saw a golden Genesis brush appear in Su Yin's hand. The grade 3 Genesis brush was at its peak. It could be said to be a heavenly brush that caused the laws of heaven and earth in the vast wilderness to rumble. How precious was this thing? Even important figures would find it difficult to obtain it. Not good. Zhu Hong lost control. He watched as Su Yin used the grade 3 Genesis brush to carve out one thick formation mark after another, sending them into the territory that was filled with rich essence energy. Every stroke contained the power of a seal. Dozens of strokes were drawn by Su Yin, causing Zhu Hong to lose control and roar. The essence of the world was beginning to thin. Su Yin was connecting with the terrain and temporarily sealing the essence of the world. Just like that, the Starry Sky Formation stopped awakening. Do you think you'll succeed? Zhu Hong almost went mad with rage. He sent out a spatial treasure, and countless Genesis essence stones tumbled down. Su Yin was stunned. More than 100,000 Genesis essence stones rained down just like that. The power gushing out from the Starry Sky Formation was several times stronger than before. This was the burning of 100,000 Genesis essence stones. The Starry Sky Formation erupted with an extremely powerful force that pierced through the outer space, as if a giant beast had awakened. Su Yin frowned. He fell into deep thought as he gazed at the starlight filling the sky. Kid, have you lost your mind? Zhu Hong sneered. 100,000 Genesis essence stones is nothing. When I report this to the Ancestral Hall, let alone 100,000, I'll have 1,000,000 or even 10,000,000. Although his words sounded good, Zhu Hong's heart was still bleeding. This was his savings of decades. Who wouldn't want to cry now that it had all been burned away in one go? Su Yin touched his sleeves as a smile appeared on his face. He had killed a few people and taken their storage treasures. There should be quite a few good things inside. What are you laughing at? You worm, if it weren't for the pressure from Earth, I would have killed you like a dog. Zhu Hong wanted to find a trace of unhappiness on Su Yan's face to comfort himself. Didn't I beat you until you didn't even dare to come out? Who doesn't know how to boast? Su Yan raised his head and looked at the power of the stars descending from the sky. His casual words made Zhu Hong so angry that his entire body trembled. Boom! Su Yan's body glowed as his life cauldron soared into the sky. The cauldron rapidly enlarged and rose into the air. Zhu Hong didn't know what Su Yan wanted to do. The starry sky formation had already formed a defensive barrier. Did he want to shake the starry sky formation? That was extremely difficult. The life cauldron rumbled. As it swallowed, a portion of the starry sky formation starlight was absorbed by the life cauldron. Although it was only a portion, it was extremely beneficial to Su Yan's life cauldron. After all, the life cauldron was a complete celestial body. Zhu Hong's expression was extremely ugly. He felt that this cauldron's potential was somewhat abnormal. It could even steal a portion of the starry sky formation's energy. When Zhu Yuankui told him about the celestial body, Zhu Hong's eyes nearly popped out of their sockets. A complete celestial body. Its value was immeasurable. Yet, it had been refined into a life cauldron by Su Yan. He was so jealous that he almost roared out loud. Rumble! The life cauldron grew stronger and stronger. The celestial body's divine power was replenished. It seemed to have turned into a heavenly cauldron. Starlight flowed within the cauldron, falling down in droves. Beat it for me, Su Yan said coldly. The life cauldron fell down and smashed into the starry sky formation. Once or twice wasn't much, but tens of thousands of strikes caused the starry sky formation to tremble. Su Yan was an expert of the occult arts. He could see that the starry sky formation was formed from hundreds of arrayed disks. He concentrated his strength on one corner of the formation, causing it to crack. This is bad. Hurry up and stop him. Zhu Yuankui was extremely anxious. Once the array disks are damaged, the starry sky formation will be damaged. Go out? Zhu Hong's face was ashen. Did Zhu Hong want to go out and die? Su Yan was a quasi-third-grade occult arts expert. Once he went out, he would be suppressed by the sea of earth energy. When Zhu Hong heard the faint cracking sound, his expression changed drastically. He gritted his teeth and roared like a wild beast. You forced me to do this. I will make you pay 10 times, 100 times. This kid is really rich. Su Yan's eyes were red. Zhu Hong had taken out a large number of heavenly treasures again. He even had 5 pieces of divine materials. Zhu Hong actually had 5 pieces of divine materials. Zhu Yuankui couldn't believe it. These divine materials had been accumulated by Zhu Hong over a long period of time. He had been preparing to gather them to exchange for a stronger treasure. Now, he could only use them to stimulate the starry sky formation's power. Rumble! After the starry sky formation swallowed the divine materials, it burned brightly. It was filled with an aura that could collapse the sky. How strong is the Ancestral Hall? Chapter 152. It's definitely an elder-level existence that has crossed over. Judging by the time, it won't be long before they arrive on Earth. Zhu Hong's heart was in turmoil. He never thought that there would be such a big shot who would cross over to Earth. The combat strength of such an existence was too astonishing. Once they stood in the starry sky formation, their speed of crossing the starry sky would be extremely fast, and the energy consumption would also be relatively low. Good, the dust has finally settled. The big shots of the Ancestral Hall are about to kill their way here. Zhu Yuankui was excited. Once the big shots of the Ancestral Hall arrived, they would take away the heavenly coffin and return to the Ancestral Hall. He would also be rewarded. This was a reward that he might not be able to obtain even if he worked hard for his entire life. Brat, let's see how you're going to die. Zhu Hong's eyes turned cold once again. He looked at Su Yan and grinned. It won't take half a day for the experts of the Ancestral Hall to kill their way here. Let's see how you're going to survive then. Su Yan was still calm. He continuously took out his natal cauldron and smashed a corner of the starry sky formation. This corner of the starry sky formation was about to crack open. Su Yan, what's the point of doing such meaningless things now? Zhu Yuankui shook his head and sneered. I advise you to kneel here obediently and wait for the big shots of my clan to arrive. Who knows? You might be lucky enough to survive. Boom. Suyin didn't say a word. He was still controlling his natal cauldron to smash a corner of the starry sky formation. Suyan's calm appearance made Zhu Yuankue and Zhu Hong's expressions turn ugly. Was this brat stupid? The big shots of the ancestral hall were about to arrive. Even if Su Yin could really smash a corner of the formation, he wouldn't be able to threaten the big shots of the ancestral hall. Bang bang. At this moment, a resplendent bloodlight swooped down. Yi Yuan was holding a blood-colored spear. He was drenched in blood, and his eyes were filled with cold, murderous intent. The blood spear slashed forward and cooperated with Su Yin to smash a corner of the starry sky formation. Lord Baokai is here. The Tai Baokai took out the 9 dragons' killing sword and swung it with its claws. Sword Chi flew out and slashed at the starry sky formation. Zhu Hong's eyes were bloodshot. The 3 Dao weapons were all coming at him. Since the pillar of Huaxia University was here, it meant that his subordinates were all dead. Rumble. This kick had already begun to sink. When a piece of scrap fell down, the starry sky array trembled violently. The array body faintly showed signs of sinking. Boom! At this moment, the blurry images projected from the massive array formation in the starry skies began to distort. The powerhouse that crossed the galaxy was about to be crushed in the twisting space-time. However, his aura immediately became countless times more terrifying, as if a terrifying sun was burning. Millions and millions of strands of divine radiance flowed out, illuminating the entire star domain. It was terrifying to the extreme. The distorted space-time stabilized in an instant. What a terrifying giant! Yi Yuan was horrified. They could clearly feel a pair of cold eyes staring at them. This pair of eyes seemed to be as big as an ancient star, and they were extremely resplendent. This old bastard is still very far from here. We still have a chance. Tai Baokai speculated that this existence must be very powerful. If he really came close to Earth, his divine aura would definitely penetrate through. Brat, are you done yet? Tai Baocai's words made Zhu Hong's expression change. He felt that something was wrong. At this moment, Su Yan's eyes suddenly widened. In the space of the phoenix hairpin, pieces of rare ores were sprinkled out one after another. Although there were no divine materials, there were more than 100 pieces of rare ores. Under the control of Su Yin, they fell on the undulating mountain range. Oh no, he's setting up the array. Zhu Yuankue roared. Oh no, we've been fooled. He was just stalling for time. He's been inscribing array patterns all this time. Zhu Hong's face was ashen because the 108 pieces of rare ores fell in 108 positions. At this moment, they were awakening, as if 108 stars in the universe were awakening. Rise! Su Yin roared. Success or failure depended on this one move. The sealed earth vein energy was finally unsealed, and it gushed out like a torrential sea of essence energy. These 108 array discs burned brightly, emitting heavenly array marks that covered the entire mountain range, covering hundreds of li. Dense array marks floated in the void and even intertwined with each other, triggering the terrifying terrain of this place. Minor cosmic array. Zhu Hong almost collapsed to the ground. This was an extremely terrifying array, and Su Yin had actually set it up to kill them. Originally, Su Yan's resources were not enough, but he had just checked the storage pouches of Zhu Hong's subordinates and obtained some rare ores. That was how he had set up the minor cosmic array. The scene of a big shot's death must be very exciting. Su Yin stood on the peak of the terrain, stepping on one essence energy dragon after another as he soared into the sky. Look, it's Su Yin, the god of war. The commotion here was too terrifying, illuminating the entire Huaxia Alliance. Countless residents saw Su Yin high up in the sky. Someone roared, I feel like Su Yin is like the grand preceptor of the Huaxia Alliance. He can definitely suppress the chaos. Su Yan's aura pierced through the sky, and his clothes fluttered loudly. Under the gaze of tens of thousands of people, he took out the stellar pagoda and formed hand seals. He had found a hand seals to activate the stellar pagoda in the South Pole starry sky art. The moment the complicated hand seals were formed, the stellar pagoda began to unseal layer by layer. Every star gate was opened, and there was a beautiful woman in a silver robe standing in the middle of the gate. 10 silver-robed women stood in the stellar gate. As the stellar pagoda awakened, it also devoured the endless earth vein energy. In an instant, the entire pagoda turned into a terrifying treasure that illuminated the starry sky. Rumble! It was a bamboo moon. She turned into 10 beautiful stars, and their auras intertwined. They disappeared. To be more precise, the great Tao left behind by the bamboo moon turned into an avatar of the bamboo moon, sitting cross-legged in the stellar pagoda. When the bamboo moon opened her eyes, the aura of the stellar pagoda burned fiercely again, shaking the outer space and the stars in the universe. In an instant, the sun and moon were destroyed, and the scene was monstrous. Kill! Su Yin let out a wild roar as the star pagoda smashed down, causing the entire starry sky formation to tremble. Countless energy barriers were crushed by the powerful pressure, and the entire starry sky formation almost exploded. Ah! Zhu Hong let out a miserable cry. His entire body was collapsing. Under the power of the stellar pagoda, he had no room to resist at all. Even the purple golden gourd was on the verge of exploding. No! As for Zhu Yuankue, he felt the pain of his body and soul being destroyed. This area was already riddled with holes. Zhu Yuankue had nowhere to run. He let out a cry of despair. He was suppressed and had nowhere to run. He felt as if the entire starry sky was covering him and binding him, causing him to let out a mournful cry. The stellar pagoda was too abnormal. It almost caused the starry sky formation to explode. However, Su Yin didn't destroy the starry sky formation. He still needed it. In the distant starry sky, a loud roar was transmitted. His pupils shone like the sun that was billions of times smaller. The starry sky formation that supported him was damaged. He was crossing the starry sky. Now that he had lost the protection of the starry sky formation, a terrifying space-time energy seeped out, causing him to feel as if he had been struck by lightning. This energy originated from the vast universe, causing his huge body to distort. Roar! However, he was extremely terrifying. He let out one angry roar after another, causing the universe to rumble. Heaven and earth were turned upside down as the great stars in the universe exploded. A boundless and terrifying aura erupted, following the remnants of the starry sky formation and affecting Earth's starry sky formation. The originally weakened starry sky formation started to awaken once again. It was now under the control of the ancestral hall's great personage. Yuan and Tai Baokai were sent flying and almost disintegrated. They were horrified. If it weren't for the Tao weapon protecting them, the remnant energy fluctuations from the starry sky formation would have wiped them out completely. He can't possibly survive after tearing apart the formation. Tai Baokai let out a roar. Hurry up, he's almost here. Once he finds the Milky Way, Earth will soon be found by him. Erupt bamboo moon. I need you. Su Yan's hair danced in the wind. He did everything he could to awaken the stellar pagoda. Boundless earth vein energy penetrated the pagoda. The pagoda was so resplendent that it seemed to collapse the heavens. A peerlessly beautiful silver-robed woman was sitting cross-legged within. It was as if the pagoda had transformed into an ancient starry sky, emitting an overflowing aura of the great Tao. This made the aura released by the stellar pagoda even more terrifying. Rumble. At this moment, heaven and earth collapsed, and the sun and moon were destroyed. The stellar pagoda came crashing down and crushed the power of the ancestral hall's great personage. Even the entire starry sky formation cracked and exploded into hundreds of arrayed disks that flew out. No, this great personage, who had been waiting for a long time, let out a roar of despair. His roar shattered the stars and caused countless large cracks to appear in the starry sky. His aura was too terrifying. The aura exhaled from his pores cut out countless large cracks and sunk a part of the starry sky. However, the problem he encountered was too serious. The starry sky formation had been completely torn apart. The star system he had crossed was extremely far away. At this moment, it was as if thunder had struck. His entire body couldn't withstand the pressure from the universe and was torn apart. From here on out, there was no more sound. This part of the universe also quieted down. That unlucky bastard has already fallen. We've crippled a great personage. Tai Baokai jumped up and roared in excitement. This was an amazing expert, but now he had died along the way. This was because the speed at which he crossed the star system was too fast. Even the universe's experts would find it difficult to withstand such speed. What was involved in this was extremely terrifying. It involved time. Some experts had problems with the teleportation formation. If they had jumped to a distant moment in time, they might have died of old age. How is this possible? Zhu Hong and Zhu Yuankuei were dumbfounded. A terrifying existence from the ancestral hall had fallen along the way. Moreover, the starry sky formation had been destroyed. They had completely lost contact with the ancestral hall. Zhu Hong and Zhu Yuankuei let out mournful cries. They were almost torn apart by Tai Baocai's claws. Tai Baokai raised his head and shouted angrily, "You two dogs almost killed this Grandpa Baokai. Stand up for this Grandpa. If you don't write down the cyclic sky seal's seal for memory, go to Earth and dig dung for 1,000 years." Updated in advance. Today's 4th chapter. Notice we'll be leaving Earth tomorrow. Chapter 153. We've won. The Huaxiao Alliance was in an uproar. Some elders' legs went soft as they fell to the ground and clenched their fists. Just now, their hearts were stretched taut. Everyone could feel the terrifying aura of the ancestral hall's great figures. When their minds started to relax, their bodies were drained of energy. They breathed heavily and roared excitedly. We've won. On this day, from the end of the universe to a complete victory, it was like a reincarnation. The entire Huaxiao Alliance, this slumbering dragon, had begun to awaken. The situation was infinitely terrifying, and there were many challenges waiting for them in the future. They could confirm that there were peak civilizations in the universe, and some terrifying existences could destroy Earth with a slap. The current Earth was so weak that it couldn't even withstand a single blow. They felt like ants looking up at the sky. The universe was vast, and Earth was small. In the universe, there were definitely ancient planets with life, terrifying orthodoxies, and powerful forces. However, some forces were spying on Earth. There was no doubt that one day in the future, Earth might face an even more terrifying disaster. A seed of strength took root in the Huaxiao Alliance and grew strong. Some people were determined. They hoped that the Huaxiao Alliance would become a tree in the sky. Is it over? Su Yin was already exhausted. He quietly recuperated here. After recovering, he found the starry sky arrayed discs scattered in the forest. After checking for a while, he found that some of the discs were damaged. I hope the repairs can be completed. When Su Yin returned to the Huaxiao Alliance, 3 days had already passed. The disaster on Earth this time had caused many casualties, especially a large number of core forces. It was a big blow to the Huaxiao Alliance. However, the threat of the wild beasts was now gone because of the existence of the banners of demons. Zhu Yin, this malignant tumor, was also completely eradicated. The entire Earth would be safe for a short period of time. Su Yin returned to his residence and inspected the dragon vein jewel eye in his residence. He sighed. Is it all over? Why do I feel like it's just the beginning? Su Yin looked at the starry sky with deep eyes. He muttered to himself, "Thank you, Bamboo Moon. You saved the entire Huaxiao Alliance. Thank you." Recalling the people and things that he had experienced over the years, Su Yin knew very well that if it wasn't for the star pagoda that Bamboo Moon had left behind, Earth would probably have really entered a dark age. Xia Zhe and the others were recuperating, so Su Yin did not disturb them. Su Yin left Huaxia University. He went to the ninth base to pay his respects to his adoptive parents. "Dad, Mom, I'm here to see you. I might have to leave. I don't know when I'll come again." Su Yin sat in front of the grave for an entire night before returning to the Huaxia Alliance. Xiaze organized a meeting. This was related to the rise and fall of the races on Earth. With the appearance of aliens, the Earth's crisis was imminent. If the Huaxia Alliance did not become stronger quickly, it was very likely that the entire race would be wiped out in the future. All the major families expressed their opinions and suggested that the Huaxia University should integrate the various forces. The Earth was still in a state of disunity. If they could be integrated, the Huaxia Alliance would develop even faster in the future. Su Yin returned to Huaxia University and went into seclusion. He took out the Starry Sky Formation Disk and the Chiman Formation Dao. Starry Sky Formation. Su Yin looked at the Chiman Formation Dao and observed a complicated formation. He now had the most important material. As long as he could learn the structure of the Starry Sky Formation, he would be able to use the Starry Sky Formation to travel across the universe. It's just as I guessed. This formation disk only needs to be modified from the original foundation to create the Starry Sky Formation. Fortunately, I have the source pen. Su Yin was glad. If he did not have the source pen, he would not have been able to modify it. "Brat, are you really going to leave?" 10 days later, Tai Baokai came. It was tempted to see Su Yin fiddling with the Starry Sky Formation, but also said seriously, "Traveling across the universe is too dangerous. You can die at any time. In this beast god's opinion, with the speed of Earth's awakening, it will soon give birth to the great Tao. At that time, some of the ruins on Earth will be opened. I suggest that you leave after 10 years. It was very dangerous. They did not have a powerful battleship to travel across the universe. If the Starry Sky Formation could not bring them to an ancient planet with a strong cultivation environment, then what awaited Su Yin was likely to die on the way. Tai Baokai thought that they should wait until they were stronger before going on an adventure in the universe. "I don't have time," Su Yin said in a deep voice. "Yin almost died because of me. She only has 3 years. I have to find a primordial divine medicine to save her." "What? Primordial divine medicine?" Tai Baokai stammered. "Brat, are you kidding me? Do you know how precious this thing is? Not to mention a primordial divine medicine. Even an ordinary divine medicine cannot be bought with all the resources on Earth. I don't need a whole one." Although Su Yin did not know how precious this thing was, he could imagine how difficult it was to get it when even the 4th or 5th stage of the trial did not have such a reward. Tai Baokai shook its head. This was also very difficult. Su Yin had made up his mind to leave, and Tai Baokai could not persuade him. It was silent for a while, then grinned and said, "I'll go too. With the strength of this Starry Sky Formation, we can travel very far. Maybe we can really find it." It was impossible for Earth to give birth to a Tao in just 1 or 2 years. Generally speaking, even if some super forces sent their disciples to some ordinary planets to cultivate, they would not let them grow for too long. Now that Earth had calmed down, even Yuan wanted to go on an adventure. Let alone me. Even Xiaze wants to go, but the Huaxia Alliance still needs him to protect it. Yuan was agitated. Earth is too weak now. If we can't produce some experts in a short period of time, we will definitely encounter a great disaster in the future. They all felt a sense of crisis. Xiaze and the others had pried open Zhu Hong's mouth and obtained some information about the cultivation world, especially about the indigenous planets. For example, Zhu Hong had once ruled over a few indigenous planets. Under normal circumstances, he would sell them at an auction, but Earth was different. Its potential was terrifying, and such planets could be sold for sky-high prices. Super forces needed these ordinary planets to nurture their outstanding Ingjia. When the time came, the best outcome would be for the people of Earth to wander the universe without a home. The worst outcome would be for them to become slaves. No one wanted to see these two outcomes. Su Yan's eyes flashed with a cold light. He went to the place where Zhu Hong and Zhu Yuankui were imprisoned. The two of them were in a terrible state. Although he had pried open their mouths and obtained some information about the outside world, it was too little. On this day, Zhu Yuan Kuei let out a mournful scream. Tai Baokai had locked his primordial spirit in a furnace and used the divine flames of the stars to refine it. This caused Zhu Hong to tremble and let out a terrified voice. "Kill me, I really don't know anything. I only know that His Majesty Daozu is looking for a heavenly coffin. I really don't know anything else." Zhu Hong's primordial spirit had a terrifying seal. Once touched, Zhu Hong would immediately die. Thus, there was no way to forcefully open his memories to search for the core secrets of the Ancestral Hall, or even the cultivation method of the Cyclic Sky Seal. Zhu Hong had fought many battles. These people of Earth were too ruthless. He had never seen all kinds of torture before. These days, he had been tortured to the point where he wanted nothing more than to commit suicide. Heavenly coffin? Su Yan's heart trembled. He had obtained a lot of information. The Ancestral Hall was searching for a needle in a haystack for a heavenly coffin. "Prepare yourselves. I'll take you to a place in a few days." Su Yan returned to his residence to study the starry sky array. At the same time, he asked Xia Zhe to gather some disciples with high comprehension. Su Yan took out the mystique array Dao and imparted it to them. In the future, the array Dao would definitely flourish in the Huaxia Alliance. At the same time, Su Yan comprehended the mystique array Dao's inheritance. He hoped to become a third-grade mystique array Dao master. This way, he would be able to control the power of the dragon veins and have more assurance when crossing the universe. It was difficult to refine the starry sky array. If it wasn't for the mystique array Dao master's inheritance, Su Yan wouldn't have been able to do it. He spent an entire month to inscribe the countless starry sky array Dao master's inscriptions on the starry sky array Dao master's disk. I don't know if I can succeed. If I fail, I will really die in the universe. Su Yan thought for a while. He then went to the strongest training ground and found the old Taoist. "Did you refine this?" The old Taoist smiled. "It's not bad. There shouldn't be any problems. But if you want to go to the universe to find an ancient planet with life, it's very dangerous to rely on a one-way starry sky array. You have to think carefully. I've already decided. As long as there's no problem with the starry sky array, my luck shouldn't be too bad, right?" Su Yan smiled bitterly. Go, an adventure in the universe." The old Taoist was very supportive of Su Yan. The training ground is only a training ground. Only by experiencing life and death in the universe can you become a strong person in the future. Only then can you become famous in the vast universe. I don't know when I'll be back. Senior, take care. Su Yan bid farewell to him. His current achievements were closely related to the strongest training ground. You take care too. The people of the Zhu family aren't too weak. The old Taoist's old face revealed a smile as he watched Su Yan leave. He muttered in his heart, "I don't know how many dangers I'll encounter this time. Let's go." Su Yan returned to the Huaxia Alliance. He brought along Tai Baokai, Su Bingshuang, Yi Yuan, Xia Zhe, and Yu Yiling. They went to the space of the Snow Mountain. It was very difficult to enter the space of the Snow Mountain. If one's physical body wasn't strong enough, it was impossible to enter. Su Yan imparted a portion of the physical body cultivation technique to them. He hoped that they would be able to obtain some of the inheritance. In the future, let's set up the location of Huaxia University here. I'll set up a large array. Time was tight. Every day was very precious to Su Yan. He pushed open the giant bronze door again. However, this time, the door didn't release any strong energy waves. Entering the space of the Snow Mountain again, Su Yan felt as if he had entered an immortal furnace. His entire physical body resonated with the entire space. Yi Yuan and Tai Baokai walked in with difficulty. Xia Zhe and the rest spent a lot of effort to walk in while enduring monstrous pressure. There was an inheritance here. Tai Baokai was extremely excited. It felt that its era of perfecting the Holy Gate had arrived. After building the door of myriad demons, its future cultivation path would be smooth sailing. Rumble. Su Yan soared into the sky. His entire body seemed to have become one with the space of the Snow Mountain. At this moment, he sensed the divine power in the space of the Snow Mountain. It was terrifying to the point of burning the world. It was as if an invincible existence had hidden his immortal treasury in the space of the snow mountain and passed it down. Su Yan's body and divine treasures were burning and rumbling. He sensed the inheritance in the snow mountain, as if he had seen his own future. This kind of inheritance was truly astonishing. Buzz! Su Yan's physical body seemed to have turned into a small universe. It was blazing and resplendent. Once the universe was activated, the golden furnace would erupt. Su Yan's entire body was overflowing with energy. The qi and blood in his body rippled vigorously. The moment the holy gate opened and the beginning sutra was activated, his entire body was like a gate to the holy domain. His physical body was even more terrifying. His entire treasure body was suffused with a sky-splitting aura. What's that? Su Yan seemed to have seen a vast and boundless golden sea. It was burning with billions of strands of immortal treasury energy. The fluctuations of the extreme realm of penetrative force seemed to have exceeded the scope of the universe's understanding. It penetrated the immortal dome and suppressed all doubts. Faintly, Su Yan saw a blurry figure sitting cross-legged at the end of the golden sea. He seemed to be sitting cross-legged in the past, present, and future, sitting in the long river of time. This person was very terrifying. His eyes seemed to have opened. Chapter 154. Could there be someone inside? Su Yan's heart trembled as goosebumps rose all over his body. He saw a blurry figure that seemed to be a real existence sitting cross-legged in the primal chaos at the end of the golden sea. It didn't reveal its true body, hidden by endless great Tao immortal traces, but it seemed like it was speaking to itself. Su Yan desperately rushed over, wanting to go over and ask who he was. However, all of this seemed to be fake. The golden sea was vast and boundless, hiding the power of millions and millions of immortal treasures, isolating Su Yan. I can't go through. I'm too weak. I can't go through it all. Why do I feel that the snow mountain has a greater origin than the heavenly coffin? Could it be the space of inheritance left behind by the ancient masters of earth? Su Yan gritted his teeth. It was too difficult for him to cross this golden sea with his physical body. He had to become a powerful expert. Only then would he have a chance of crossing it in the future. When he opened his eyes again, all the scenes had disappeared. Su Yan was silent as he pondered. The space of the snow mountain should have been left behind by the cultivators who were related to Earth. There were shocking inheritances inside. Xia Zhe and the others had all received great fortunes and had a general understanding of the future path of cultivation. Yuan, in particular, had reaped great benefits. His physical body was already strong, and he had even taken a shortcut to cultivate his physical body. He was very suitable for the inheritance of the snow mountain space. Su Yan went to the peak of the snow mountain space. He sat on top of this blood-colored heavenly coffin. Back then, he had entered it and even slept inside for an entire 60 years. What secrets are hidden in this heavenly coffin? Why did the ancestral hall try so hard to obtain it? In the space of the snow mountain, it seems to have an even greater origin. There are too many secrets on Earth. The mausoleum of Emperor Qin is one of them. Su Yan pondered. The ancestral hall was definitely very powerful. They were willing to spend countless years to search for its whereabouts. So one could well imagine the importance of the heavenly coffin. But now that the heavenly coffin was in his hands, he was unable to open it. This gave Su Yan a headache. Maybe when I'm strong enough. Only then can you open the heavenly coffin. Su Yan jumped down. Xia Zhe and the others had already left and were cultivating in seclusion nearby. It seemed that they had all gained a lot. Su Yan was not idle either. He was pondering how to arrange a large-scale array formation here, enveloping the entire space of the snow mountain, preparing to create a super powerful academy. Su Yan wanted to do something for the Huaxia Alliance before leaving. Battle God Su Yan is going to set up a large-scale formation. He wants us to go and observe it. Su Yan prepared to set up a set of Qianquan array that could fuse the essence of heaven and earth and the dragon qi of the earth veins. This kind of array could not only help people cultivate, but also fend off strong enemies. The commotion caused by Su Yan's formation had alarmed the entire Huaxia alliance. It required a lot of precious ores, and it was impossible for Huaxia University to gather all of them. Many families and forces took the initiative to offer precious resources. Huaxia University was now related to the rise and fall of the entire Huaxia alliance. After the last racial calamity, the Huaxia alliance was very united. They were all willing to pay the price. Countless ores were transported here. The dozens of array formation geniuses trained by Su Yan also cooperated with him. Time passed day by day. 10 days later, Su Yan's eyes flashed with a trace of surprise. He looked up and saw a demonic aura soaring into the sky, piercing through the clouds. Boom! The commotion was too big. It could be said that thousands of demons had appeared and swallowed the moon. Look! The nearby crowd that was watching Su Yan refining the array was horrified. This was Tai Baotsai's awakening. Its half-step sacred gate rumbled, wanting to erupt with even more powerful potential. Tai Baokai had gained a lot from the inheritance in the snow mountain space. It was ready to open the sacred gate in one go. A half-step sacred gate was already strong enough. When it evolved into a sacred gate, the thousands of demonic shadows in the gate seemed to have materialized. Demonic aura filled the air and covered more than 100 miles. Tai Baokai had squandered more than 5,000 origin essence stones before he was able to open the holy gate. This Tai Baokai was extraordinary, and his entire body glowed with golden light. He was like a golden panda standing between heaven and earth, raising his head and shouting loudly while swallowing melon seeds. The opening of the sacred gate is also related to the scripture. Su Yan thought. The sacred gate opened by Tai Baokai was like a gate of demons. Tai Baotsai's heavenly art was extraordinary. There was shock in Su Yan's eyes. He faintly realized that there seemed to be an extremely terrifying imprint in the holy gate that Tai Baokai had opened. It was filled with the supreme aura of the demon clan. He could faintly see a majestic figure standing tall, as if it was standing in a reincarnation cycle, standing in the past. Su Yan was shocked. He looked again and found that the blurry figure in Tai Baotsai's sacred gate had disappeared completely. Su Yan frowned. Yuan also opened the Dao gate. After all, Yuan's Dao gate was destroyed. He had to cultivate his life spring again. It was only now that he opened the Dao gate. Is it also a sacred gate? Su Yan was surprised. The Dao gate opened by Yuan was extremely domineering. His body even released a powerful beam of blood essence light. The blood in his body roared. Even Tai Baokai was shocked. He could faintly see a majestic giant arching his bow and shooting the sun in the opening of the sacred gate. Hou-yi. Su Yan stood up and recalled the scene of Hou-yi, the god of war in ancient Huaxia legends. He once shot down the sun with his bow. In Yuan's Dao gate, there was a scene of a red sun falling. It was as if the sun was collapsing. The scene was extremely shocking. When Yuan's sacred gate opened, the crowd was in an uproar. Although Hou-yi's sacred gate wasn't as magnificent as Tai Baotsai's, it was still extremely shocking. Quasi-sacred gate. Tai Baokai was shocked. It was too difficult to open a sacred gate. Once a sacred gate was opened, one would be considered an invincible genius in the universe. In the future, one would walk the path of conquering the world. Although quasi-sacred gates were much weaker than sacred gates, once a Dao gate was opened, one's future would also be impressive. Sacred gates didn't mean that one could go further in the future. Dao gates could also open 9-day Song gates. In the end, they would combine into one and evolve into various unimaginable supernatural powers. Some cultivators who were late bloomers could also go further in the future after opening a Xiandao gate. Su Yan sank into deep thought. Could it be that some of the stories in ancient myths and legends were true? Yuan's bloodline was very powerful. This was undeniable. Yuan didn't come out of seclusion. He continued to cultivate in seclusion and digest what he had learned. Time passed slowly. In the blink of an eye, half a month had passed. On this day, in the vicinity of the snowy mountain, waves of monstrous terrains suddenly appeared. This was the awakening of the Chinquin array. Su Yin spent nearly a month and used thousands of precious ores to finally refine the Chinquin array. Activate the array. Su Yin stood on the peak of the snowy mountain and activated the Chinquin array. Following the activation of the Chinquin array, the heavens and earth shook. Everything within 1,000 miles was shaking. When countless terrains were awakened, layers of Chinquin power enveloped the area. When this array was formed, it automatically intertwined and absorbed the essence of heaven and earth. It started to engulf the array. It was as if a huge monster was awakening. The Chinquin array had been formed. It wasn't very strong when it was first formed. However, after a year and a half, it would absorb enough power of heaven and earth. Only then would the Chinquin array be able to unleash its full power. Thank you, Battle God Su Yin. The surrounding residents cheered. Some of the array geniuses that Su Yin had nurtured had tears in their eyes. They could feel the power of the Chinquin array. After half a year, the essence of heaven and earth would be shockingly rich. It's a pity that I can't stay any longer. I can't rise together with the Huaxia Alliance. Su Yin sighed in his heart. This was his home. He didn't want to leave. He looked at the array geniuses and said, "Refine the void-shifting array as soon as possible. There should be many ores and resources on the planets near Earth. This is very important for the development of the Huaxia Alliance." We understand. These array geniuses felt that the burden on their shoulders was very heavy. Mastering the array Dao was too important because they could travel through the void. In the future, they could go to the nearby planets and excavate all kinds of resources. Buzz! Suddenly, Su Yan's face changed. Then it was filled with joy. The dragon totem on his arm that had been dormant had awakened at this moment. Su Yin quickly disappeared and rushed into the blood-red space. He was very excited. This was also the place where the dragon totem was born. Maybe the true dragon could open the coffin. What an amazing temperature! Su Yan's arm was almost burnt. He grimaced. Even with his physical body, it was difficult to withstand the aura of the true dragon's awakening. The fluctuations from the dragon totem became more and more terrifying. It was so bright that it illuminated the entire blood-red space. It was dazzling. Roar! The dragon totem was instantly revived. A golden dragon with a dazzling golden body soared into the sky, radiating golden splendor. Su Yin raised his head and looked at the real dragon. Was this dragon alive or not? The true dragon soared into the sky, looking down at the heavens. Its aura was extremely powerful and domineering. It was the supreme divine beast of the demon race. Although its body was small, its body was rippling with an aura that could destroy heaven and earth. It caused the entire snowy mountain space to rumble. Lord True Dragon! Tai Baokai screamed and rushed in, his face full of enthusiasm. Lord True Dragon, my disciple Baokai. Tai Baokai was so excited that he almost kowtowed to acknowledge him as his master. The little true dragon glanced at Tai Baokai. Its golden eyes flashed with confusion. It could faintly see that Tai Baocai's true body was very familiar. However, it could not remember where it had met him. Perhaps it was too long ago. The little true dragon only gave it a hurried glance before soaring into the sky. Kid, quickly tell your master to accept me as his disciple. Tai Baokai was so anxious that he almost jumped. He felt that the little true dragon was paying attention to him. That glance, just now, seemed to have seen through the essence of Tai Baocai's soul. Su Yin was speechless. Back then, he had used this method to subdue Tai Baokai. Tai Baokai still believed him even now. It would be great if he could communicate with the true dragon. Unfortunately, the true dragon did not seem to have any intelligence. However, it was not like an inanimate object. After hibernating for more than a year and awakening once again, it was terrifying. Whoosh! The little true dragon's golden radiance was boundless. It circled around the snowy mountain space, once before soaring toward the blood-colored coffin. Under Su Yan's dumbfounded gaze, the blood-colored coffin glowed on its own and faintly emitted a heaven-shaking might. The heavenly coffin is about to open. Su Yan's blood boiled as he leapt up from the ground. He rushed forward, wanting to see what was inside the blood-colored coffin. Tai Baokai was also extremely excited. The heavenly coffin that the ancestral hall had been plotting for countless years was about to open. Roar! The little true dragon roared at the blood-colored heavenly coffin. The heavenly coffin rumbled on its own and swayed. It spat out countless ancient golden words that imprinted themselves on the coffin. Beginning Sutra. Su Yan turned pale. Could it be that he had to use the beginning sutra to imitate the coffin to open it? Chapter 155. My eyes are about to go blind. Tai Baokai squealed like a pig being slaughtered. Su Yan's eyes were also blinded by the light. However, he could faintly see that the opened corner of the coffin seemed to be burying the heavens, the immortal sky, and an unparalleled energy. Ah! Su Yan screamed at the sky. His head was splitting, and his forehead was shining brightly, as if it had turned into an immortal bone. Strands of strange energy emerged from within, causing the heavenly coffin to rumble. Su Yan felt like he could not control himself and was about to be buried in the heavenly coffin. I don't want to go there. Su Yan clenched his fists. He did not want to sleep in there for another 60 years. He struggled with all his might and saw the thing buried in the heavenly coffin. It was like a terrifying energy body. It was extremely frightening. It faintly wanted to swallow Su Yan and bring him into the heavenly coffin. The moment Su Yan broke free, he saw that the scene in the heavenly coffin had changed. It was hazy with chaotic matter, surrounded by millions of strands of immortal light, and filled with the aura of the immortal path. His scalp went numb as he saw a hazy shadow of immortal light. It seemed to be another him standing in the heavenly coffin. It was as if he was the heavenly coffin, and the heavenly coffin was him. It was a terrifying embodiment. Tai Baokai was terrified. The scene it saw in the heavenly coffin was different from Su Yan's. It saw one after another, extremely majestic shadows filled with the aura of the demon race's supreme beings. It was as if there were supreme beings standing in the coffin. The shadows of 9 supreme beings of the demon race were filled with the aura of reincarnation. Tai Baocai's hair stood on end. Clang! At this moment, the initial sutra that covered the coffin suddenly calmed down. The coffin closed, and the little true dragon returned and escaped into Su Yan's arm. What's going on? Tai Baokai shuddered and ran over. It said anxiously, Kid, did you not explain clearly to Lord True Dragon? Why did it leave again? Call out. Su Yan did not know how to explain. He breathed heavily and stared at the heavenly coffin. What secret was hidden inside? Why did he see himself? What did you see inside the coffin? Su Yan asked. Seeing so many demonic paragons, 9 in total, I believe that the heavenly coffin is hinting to me that I will become the 10th demonic paragon. Su Yan was left speechless by Tai Baocai's conjecture. What he saw was completely different from Tai Baocai's. Tai Baokai felt that it was a pity that they didn't manage to get any substantial information out of them. They didn't know the origin of the heavenly coffin either. Zhu Yunkui's Yuan Shun had been refined to death. And as for Zhu Hong, he was already crippled. He probably wouldn't be able to live for much longer. It is extremely difficult to open this heavenly coffin. With my current cultivation, I am unable to open it. Su Yan was also clear that the initial scripture words that the little true dragon had just spat out were all top-notch. With his cultivation, he would not be able to imitate such charm. Just let it sink here. Sooner or later, I will unravel its secrets. Su Yan thought to himself as he left the space of the snow mountain. Tai Baokai was hopping with anxiety. Su Yan could only say that the true dragon was in a deep slumber and wouldn't wake up in a short period of time. The dragon totem has changed. Su Yan found a quiet place to think for a while. His Yuan Shun reached his arm, and at this moment he realized that the dragon totem on his arm was mysterious and unfathomable. Su Yan was silent for a while. His Yuan Shun pierced through the dragon totem. At this moment, it was as though he had barged into a true dragon's lair. and it was filled with the supreme charm of a true dragon. Could it be? Su Yin was pleasantly surprised and moved. He could feel a profound martial Dao aura. The dragon totem was like a martial Dao mystique that Su Yin could comprehend. Mystique, it must be a mystique, Su Yin asserted. He carefully pondered, and the more he looked, the more shocked and doubtful he became. Although it is a true dragon's mystique, this mystique shouldn't have reached the great mystique domain. Could it be that I need to make the dragon totem stronger? Su Yan's heart thumped. The true dragon's secret technique could definitely evolve into the great mystique domain. What is the relationship between the dragon totem and the heavenly coffin? Su Yan sighed. His current achievements were directly related to the dragon totem. Otherwise, it would have been difficult for him to even awaken it. After all, the light dragon totem's ability to find treasures was extremely shocking. Su Yan comprehended the true dragon's secret technique and felt its charm. He realized that the dragon totem's secret technique was like a powerful body technique that could unleash the power of his body. About 3 days later, Su Yan opened his eyes. He flashed and appeared in Zhu Yan's old lair. It had now become the core of the Huaxia Alliance, and Xia Zhe and the rest were cultivating here. Bing Shuang, when he was about to reach his destination, Su Yan saw a beautiful woman. She was wearing a long black dress that fluttered in the wind. Her hair was black and beautiful. Brother, Su Bing Shuang turned around. She was depressed, and her eyes were filled with reluctance. Su Yan walked over and looked at Su Bing Shuang with a smile. Why? Do you want to go to the universe for a spin? Su Bing Shuang nodded. In this world, she only had Su Yan as her family. How could she bear to part with Su Yan? This trip is too dangerous. We will go and explore first. You can't go. Su Yan shook his head and said with a firm tone. He looked at Su Bing Shuang and recalled the young and beautiful girl in the past. Now, Su Bing Shuang was a great beauty. Su Bing Shuang was depressed. She didn't know how many years it would take for Su Yan to return. She was sure that they would encounter many dangers along the way. Be good. Su Yan walked over and patted her shoulder. Okay. Su Bing Shuang nodded. Looking at the depressed Su Bing Shuang, Su Yan suddenly hugged her. This made Su Bing Shuang blush, and her heart beat a little faster. Hee, if it was 100 years ago, I probably wouldn't be able to carry you now. Su Yan grinned. He recalled the time when he carried her on his back when they were young. I'll bite you to death. Su Bing Shuang recalled the memory. She was embarrassed and angry, but her mood was much better. She wrinkled her nose and snorted. I'm telling you, come back early. Otherwise, I'll go to the universe for a spin too. Okay, you stay here obediently. When I'm done, I'll come back and take a look. Su Yan rubbed her head. His eyes fell on a huge starry sky platform on top of a mountain. The starry sky platform had been absorbing the essence of the earth veins. It had been operating for a month. Su Yan felt that the starry sky platform had stored a lot of energy. It was time to set off. Before Su Yan left, he went to the Huaxia Alliance to bid farewell to Bai Minjing. Su Yan, you must come back alive. Bai Minjing stared blankly at Su Yan. Her eyes flashed with tears as she recalled many things. Bai Xingyuan, who was at the sighed. He looked at Su Yan's back with a complicated expression. Fatty and Lin Wanlan were preparing to go to the snow mountain. After all, Huaxia University was moving to the college. The disciples of the college would go to the new Huaxia University to cultivate. Good brother, you must take care. Fatty hammered Su Yan's chest and laughed. When I'm stronger, I'll go to the universe for a spin too. It's a pity that I'm not strong enough now. Otherwise, I would go with you. Fatty and Lin Wanlan wanted to go too, but they didn't want to be a burden. They could only wish Su Yan a safe journey. Su Yan went to see Tang Yi. Tang Yi had also stepped into the Dao Gate realm and was preparing to teach at Huaxia University. He smiled and said, Go, Su Yan. I'm old and don't know how long I can live. I hope to see you come back. What surprised Su Yan was that Xia Yang had become a powerful figure in the Underground Commerce Alliance. It was all because of Su Yan. Yu Yiling also smiled and said, Su Yan, you must have suffered a lot outside. When you come back, you won't be as strong as me. I should go. Su Yan sighed. He was a little reluctant, but also determined. This time, not many people knew about their departure. Before Su Yin left, he went to Huaxia University's prison and stared coldly at Zhu Hong. Su Yin. Zhu Hong's face was ferocious, and there was fear in his eyes. He had been frightened during this period and was in so much pain that he wished he was dead. Su Yan's hand squeezed his neck. Bit by bit. Ah! Zhu Hong screamed. He still had a glimmer of hope. He hoped that these people wouldn't kill him. Once the Tao was born on Earth, he might have a chance to escape. Don't kill me. I know secrets. I know secrets of the universe. I know secrets of the Big Dipper star region. I know secrets of the Star Tomb. I know secrets of the 9 great celestial mountains. Zhu Hong begged in fear. He spat out the secrets, hoping that Su Yin would give him some time. Su Yan's eyes were cold, and his heart was as firm as steel. He kept on exerting force. Zhu Yuankuei's primordial spirit had been refined to death by Tai Baokai. Su Yin didn't want to let Zhu Hong live to avoid any accidents. Su Yin, you'll die a horrible death. Zhu Hong was in despair. Su Yin wasn't going to let him live at all. My ancestral hall is the strongest force in the universe. The ancestral hall won't let you go. You would die a horrible death. No one can protect you. Just you wait. The ancestral hall will find you soon. Even if you hide in the no man's land in the universe, you won't be able to escape from the ancestral hall. Zhu Hong's face was full of hatred. He knew how powerful the ancestral hall was. The ancestral hall would find out sooner or later that an important person had died. They would definitely follow the Mother Formation's senses and search for their whereabouts. Crack! Su Yin crushed Zhu Hong's throat and destroyed his primordial spirit. Then I'll wait. Su Yin took a deep breath and left for the snow mountain. Tai Baokai and Yi Yuan were ready. Su Yin handed the purple golden gourd to Su Bingshuang. This treasure was very powerful. After all, it was a Tao divine weapon. Brother, have a safe journey. Take care of yourself and come back soon. You must keep your promise. Su Bingshuang waved her hand reluctantly with tears in her eyes. She didn't know how long Su Yin would be gone. Good brother, I'll wait for your return. Remember to bring me some good wine from the universe. Xiaozhe smiled and looked at Yi Yuan. Baokai, don't forget to give birth to a few cubs. The Huaxia Alliance is in urgent need of a divine beast to guard the country. Fatty winked and grinned. Damn, Fatty, wait for me, Baokai, to come back. I'll suppress a few sanuses of the universe for you. Tai Baokai said arrogantly. His mouth was wide open, and there was a serious look in his eyes. This trip would definitely not go smoothly. We should go. Su Yin looked at Xiaozhe and the others. He took a deep breath and stepped on the astral formation. The starry sky formation instantly emitted a resplendent starry sky aura. As Su Yin took out a large number of origin essence stones and sprinkled them on the starry sky formation, the starry sky formation became even more ferocious. What's going on? The people of the Huaxia Alliance thought that it was another alien invasion. This was a strand of extremely powerful starry sky energy. It swooped down majestically, and as the dense starry sky array marks were awakened, it formed a starry sky tunnel in the void. Have a safe journey. Lu Qingtian and the others clenched their fists. When would Su Yin and the others come back? They didn't even know what they would experience along the way. Baokai, I'm leaving. They disappeared, and only Tai Baotsai's voice echoed. Only the astral formation continued to recover and burst out with the divine power it contained. Under Su Bingshuang's trembling eyes, the divine power contained in the astral formation was completely exhausted and turned into dust. You must be safe. If you don't have a good time outside, you must come back. Chapter 156. The universe was vast and boundless. It was colorful and dotted with stars. No traces of life could be seen in the magnificent universe. Su Yin and the others set off on their journey to the only place they knew about the origin of Earth. They were going to search for ancient planets of life in the vast universe and find the peak cultivation civilization. This was a beam of light rushing out from Earth. It was very fast, even faster than a meteor. This beam of light traveled through the lonely universe. Boom! As soon as it reached the outer space, The beam of light was distorted and was about to be shattered by the heavy aura of the universe. Su Yin and the other two felt a chill down their spines because the beam of light was a starry sky array and they were inside it. They felt as if their lives were being taken away when the starry sky array jumped through the universe. The universe is worthy of respect. Yuan's expression changed. She felt her energy body collapse. I feel my life slipping away quickly. Isn't this too fast? If we weren't wrapped by the starry sky array just now, we might have aged rapidly. Su Yin was shocked. They were now in a miniature starry sky. This was a starry sky array that spanned across the universe. It was like a huge secret chamber that was resisting the energy of the universe. At this moment, they felt the magnificence and terror of the universe. It was too dangerous, and they would die if they were careless. Fortunately, the starry sky array is strong enough. We almost couldn't withstand it just now. Tai Baokai was covered in cold sweat. He said while shivering, "The most dangerous test has passed. Next, we will cross the starry sky in the vast universe." Fortunately, the starry sky array left the original array traces. I just repaired it. Suyin knew very well that it was impossible for him to copy the starry sky array with his array Dao cultivation. He only improved the starry sky array on the original foundation. With the old Taoist confirmation, Suyin dared to take it out and cross the universe. Su Yin and the others were silent. The unknown journey made them feel somewhat depressed. After all, they didn't have a goal. The starry sky array would search for ancient planets of life aimlessly and even find powerful ancient planets of life in the universe. This was easier said than done. The universe is too beautiful. Gradually they relaxed. Their eyes scanned the rapidly disappearing universe. Although there was no sign of life, the universe was dazzling and filled with countless strange stars. "I wonder when we'll be back," Su Yin murmured. They were all in high spirits as they enjoyed the beautiful scenery of the universe. "If we have a battleship, we can travel through the universe and even mine rare ores on some planets." Tai Baokai grinned. The resources in the universe were inexhaustible. The mysterious universe gave birth to countless treasures. But to use a battleship to traverse the universe? First of all, the starry sky. Furthermore, they needed to store enough energy to allow the battleship to traverse the universe for a long period of time. Generally speaking, such battleships were extremely expensive. Even if we sold ourselves, we wouldn't be able to afford it. This kind of battleship is too expensive. Su Yin was speechless. I wonder what kind of existence can cross star fields. There was a lack of life essence in the universe. Just the depletion of one's body was a big problem. Time passed day after day. Su Yin estimated that all the energy burned by the starry sky array should be enough for them to cross the universe for 1 or 2 months. Quick look. Yuan's expression changed drastically. Su Yin and Tai Baokai also looked over. They were shocked. Although they only caught a glimpse of the scene, it was unforgettable. This was a giant hand. It was like a silver continent lying in the universe. Its body was riddled with holes, and there were no signs of life. It was unknown how many years it had been dead. Its body was floating in the universe, but its body was so huge that even the stars seemed small. Although it had already died, Su Yin and the others could still feel the terrifying, ferocious aura emitting from the huge beast body. They could faintly see that the area where the huge beast was floating was a huge black hole. Even the stars could not withstand the ferocious aura left behind by its body. Tai Baotsai's heart ached. It's definitely a giant star beast. It's a creature born from the starry sky. It's an extremely shocking race with a body full of treasures. If we can take this giant star beast corpse and sell it, it'll definitely fetch a sky-high price. We should have left the Milky Way by now. I wonder which star field is the closest to the Milky Way with life. Su Yin asked. Buzz. The starry sky array moved at an astonishing speed. They passed through the starry sky as if they were crossing one ancient star system after another. Kacha. They had just left the starry sky when a star suddenly shattered. It was filled with a mournful roar that shook the starry sky. It was as if an ancient deity was screaming. It was just a primordial spirit. Although he was very weak, his aura was still powerful. He let out an angry roar when he saw the three people passing through the starry sky array. Suyen's body had been destroyed. If not for the primordial spirit controlling the supreme treasure, it would have exploded. Natives, I will find you. The big shot from the ancestral hall was still alive, but only his primordial spirit was left. Traversing the universe with his primordial spirit, it was too difficult. He was already very lucky to be alive. That was too dangerous. Fortunately, we didn't run into it. Otherwise, we would have been eaten until not even our bones were left. A few days later, Tai Baokai was so frightened that his hair stood on end. They all saw countless bugs that seemed to form a vast galaxy. They were emitting a ferocious aura as they gnawed on the stars. These are cosmic bugs. Adventurers in the universe are most afraid of encountering them. Cosmic bugs are one of them. They are social creatures. Every cosmic bug was overflowing with ferocious aura. Once they encountered one, they could kill the three of them. I didn't expect there to be storms in the universe. Earth's tornadoes are worlds apart from these storms. A few days later, they saw a storm in the depths of the universe. It was dark and oppressive, covering millions of miles. The moment it passed, the universe trembled and countless stars were crushed. This was a cosmic storm. Once swept in, the universe's experts would wither away. The journey was extremely thrilling. Time passed slowly. A month had passed. They had encountered many strange things. The three of them were somewhat nervous because the energy of the starry sky formation was weakening. Once the formation's energy was exhausted, they would be in danger. Why is it so far away? Tai Baokai breathed heavily. He didn't want to be buried in the universe. He still wanted to be famous. Every day was a kind of torture for Su Yin and the others. On this day, Su Yin and the other two were shocked. At this moment, they felt an extremely magnificent aura. It was like an unimaginable colossus lying across the universe in front of them. This kind of feeling was indescribable. It was like ants looking up at the sky. I feel the aura of an ancient life planet. It's terrifying. Tai Baokai was extremely excited. Let's get ready to jump out and onto the ancient life planet. The three of them were beating fast. After more than a month, they had finally encountered the aura of an ancient life planet. Unbelievable. They were tongue-tied. What they saw was a vast, boundless, and peerlessly magnificent scene. This was a corner of a continent. It should be a borderland, but its area was hundreds of times bigger than Earth. Could it be the strongest ancient life planet? Tai Baokai grinned excitedly. As they continued to observe, their faces changed. It was indeed an ancient life planet. It was so magnificent that it seemed to cover a vast star field. However, this corner of the continent was hazy with chaotic energy and floating gray haze. Broken stars floated up and down. It was a destroyed territory. This scene shocked them. Their scalps went numb as they felt the aura of death. Boom! A deafening boom echoed through the Death Dominion. Suddenly, waves of energy rippled out from the Death Dominion, causing the entire starry sky to tremble. It was as if the entire universe would collapse as the aura recovered. What kind of existence is that? Su Yin saw a huge shadow sitting cross-legged in the broken star field. He was wearing a robe sewn from countless bee skins. Ancient chaotic energy spread out. He was like a primitive man sitting cross-legged in the primal chaos like the king of gods. It's this person who's breathing. Yuan's hair stood on end. He found it inconceivable. The vast starry sky was sinking because he was breathing. The moment this terrifying existence breathed, the sun and moon trembled. Chaotic energy surged, and his mouth and nose spewed out the rumbling sound of tsunamis. This person was too terrifying. He could devour the power of the universe. His entire body was like an immortal furnace burning here. His eyes were as deep and shocking as an ancient star. His gaze was also stunned by the formations in the starry sky as he passed by. Su Yin and the other two felt as if they had been struck by lightning. They felt as if they would die on the spot after being glanced at. What kind of terrifying giant dragon was this? Could it be an almighty being? Tai Baokai was excited. This was an extremely imposing existence sitting cross-legged in the broken star field, swallowing the heavenly essence of the universe. The chi and blood in his body were like a majestic universe ocean. The starry sky array had already left this place. Does he look familiar? The primitive man wearing beast skin muttered to himself. This was an old man with a majestic figure and surging chi and blood like a vast universe ocean. He was somewhat suspicious when he saw Su Yin. This place was very vast. The starry sky array spent 3 days to leave this broken star field. They continued on their journey. The aura of the starry sky array was getting weaker and weaker. Su Yin and the others felt uneasy. Look, there's a spaceship. A huge spaceship that was even bigger than a star was traversing the universe. It was completely black and emitted a cold aura. Not good. They're chasing us. This spaceship was chasing in the direction of Su Yin and the others. However, the starry sky array was moving very fast. The spaceship couldn't catch up in a short time. Too dangerous. They should be space bandits hunting cultivators. There are still pirates in the universe? Su Yin was horrified. They had almost been caught just now. Of course, but this is also a good sign. Tai Baokai said excitedly. There might be an ancient planet with life in front. Another day passed. Su Yin and the others saw hope because they felt that the cosmic energy here was very rich and filled with the essence of heaven and earth. We're here. Yi Yuan's expression was agitated as he pointed his finger forward. That was a majestic life ancient star. It was so big that they couldn't imagine how big it was. Floating in the dark universe, it was like an endless star in the cosmos. It was so bright that they couldn't even open their eyes. At this moment, they were like ants looking up at the sky, looking up at this ancient planet with life. It was countless times brighter than the sun. Pull me. Su Yin let out a cry of surprise as he was swallowed by a terrifying force. Su Yin. Yi Yuan and Tai Baokai couldn't catch Su Yin immediately. Su Yin fell uncontrollably, and even a corner of the starry sky array collapsed. Brat, I'm going to die because of you. Tai Baokai and Yi Yuan screamed as a corner of the starry sky array collapsed. They also fell down and landed on this huge ancient planet with life. Su Yin was horrified as he saw a mountain. However, Su Yin found it hard to believe that this mountain was exactly the same as the snow mountains on Earth. It was the force that had pulled Su Yin down. Chapter 157. This was a life ancient star. It was grand and vast, magnificent and majestic. It was called Alcade Star. It had a vast territory and was a super powerful life ancient star. Although it couldn't be considered the strongest ancient star in the boundless universe, it was also a top cultivation ancient star. It was already late at night, but in the mountains and ravines, the roars of beasts were transmitted. Some of the powerful beasts were trembling, as if they were startled by the sudden awakening of the aura in the darkness. What's going on? In a distant region, there was an extremely grand city. The sun, moon, and stars were suspended above the huge city. Each and every one of them seemed small, because this city was too grand. However, this city was faintly shaking. The experts in the city were all startled. Especially in the depths of the huge city, it was solemn and serene. There were palaces everywhere, and cultivators with powerful auras could be seen everywhere. This was the forbidden area of Alcade City. In the innermost area, there was a celestial palace suspended under the dome of heaven. It floated in the void, and a vague figure was sitting cross-legged inside. It was extremely domineering, as if a purple sun was burning. The fluctuations that overflowed from its body caused the void to sink on its own. His eyes suddenly opened. In his eyes, the sun and moon were destroyed, and the stars were reassembling from the destruction. Even he was startled. 2 divine rays shot out from his eyes, enough to split open the dome of heaven. He looked at the distant, wild mountain forest. Palace Master. At the bottom of the celestial palace, the experts prostrated themselves. Their hearts couldn't help but tremble. The Alcade Palace Master's aura was too grand. It could be said that he was a giant dragon that shook the starry sky. The aura he emitted was like millions of strands of the power of stars. Why is the Star Tomb acting strangely? The Alcade Palace Master was startled. He was the Overlord of Alcade Star, the top expert of Big Dipper Starfield, an existence that could call the wind and summon the rain. At this moment, however, he was shocked. His eyes were blazing resplendently as he looked into the depths of the wild forest. That was a starfield as black as ink, but it was emitting a powerful aura. Palace Master, the Star Tomb split open once more than 100 years ago. Could it be that the Star Tomb is going to come out in advance? An expert leaped into the huge palace. He was majestic and imposing, and his body seemed to pierce through heaven and earth. He said somewhat excitedly, "I suggest that we immediately dispatch troops and kill our way in. This is our Big Dipper Starfield's most powerful place of fortune, as well as the land of inheritance." Alcade Palace Master was silent. More than 100 years ago, there were some secrets that they didn't know about. Some restless and terrifying leaders had come to the burial region and opened up the Star Tomb. Star Tomb was a forbidden area. Even someone as strong as the Alcade Palace Master would die if he barged in. If the Star Tomb was not opened, then no one would be able to enter. Our clan's most powerful ancient star was buried in the Star Mount. How many years has it been? When will it see the light of day again? Alcade Hall Master muttered to himself. Countless years ago, the Big Dipper Star had sunk down on its own, turning into a forbidden zone for all life. According to the ancient legends, the 9 great immortal mountains had once sunk down onto the Big Dipper Star, causing it to collapse. The Big Dipper was the strongest ancient star with life. Because of the existence of the Big Dipper constellation was one of the top 10 superpowers in the vast universe among billions of races. But if they lost the Big Dipper, they would lose the most powerful ancient planet. The Big Dipper Starfield would slowly lose the qualifications to be one of the 10 strongest. This was the Big Dipper Starfield, and Alcade Planet was one of the ancient planets. Even so, the Big Dipper Starfield still had 7 supreme ancient planets. Among the second-rate forces in the vast universe, they were considered the top. Alcade Palace Master's expression changed slightly. His aura was surging ferociously. It was too terrifying. At this moment, his eyes were overflowing with resplendent light, sprinkling down a rain of great Tao. His gaze was sharp as he gazed into the wild forest. He could faintly see a corner of the dark Star Tomb, where a majestic mountain was awakening. Could it be? Alcade Palace Master clenched his fists. Could it be true? Was there really an immortal mountain? Alcade Palace Master even faintly saw a shadow descending from outer space. This made him aghast, but it was too far away for him to see clearly. What the hell is that? Suyin almost exploded. The power of heaven and earth squeezed over, causing Suyin to spit out a mouthful of blood. There was a terrifying power in this ancient planet. This was the pressure of heaven and earth, and it almost tore Suyin apart. Even the giant mountain he wanted to go to had an astonishing power that blocked Suyin, causing him to fall into the forest outside, smashing a huge hole. It hurts! Suyin almost cried. His body, life spring, and primordial spirit were all under extreme pressure. This is the pressure of the ancient planet's rules. Suyin instantly understood. This was what Tai Baokai had said, the pressure of a higher life form. Suyin had been cultivating on Earth, but once he came to a higher life ancient planet, he would be cruelly suppressed. If he couldn't endure it, he would die. A few powerful superpowers would rule over ordinary planets with great potential and have their disciples undergo trials. Once they returned to an ancient planet with high-level life forms, they would suffer inhumane torment. However, once they made it through, it was no small matter. They would undergo a transformation. First of all, the gravity of the Alcade planet was extremely shocking. It wasn't something Earth could compare with. Su Yin was in extreme pain. His whole body was about to explode. Even the rules turned into killing swords and slashed down, causing Su Yin so much pain that he wished he was dead. What was this? This was the power of the rules. The rules of heaven and earth on earth weren't perfect. Once Su Yin came here, he would be flooded by the rules. Especially since Su Yan's body and Tao were too strong, he would suffer a terrifying suppression. Su Yin coughed up blood. His consciousness was blurry, and he vaguely saw an old man appear here and take him away. This was a vast and desolate mountain forest with few people. There were some tribes and villages here. The mountain forest was very dangerous. There were many powerful beasts, and there were even beasts with monstrous demonic auras hibernating in the forest. The desolate mountain forest covered an area of 1,000,000 miles. It was too vast and boundless. But now, the mountains and valleys were shaking. A terrifying human existence was crossing over. At the end of the horizon rose a sun that filled the world. For a moment, purple divine radiance erupted and illuminated the sky. Hundreds of thousands of miles of mountains and rivers were about to collapse under his might. This wasn't the only one. The changes in the star tomb caused all kinds of terrifying auras to spread over from afar. For a moment, people were shouting and beasts were roaring. The whole desolate mountain was no longer peaceful. The auras of experts were coming from every major region. Why are there so many experts here? Blacksmith, could it be that a treasure has appeared in the mountain forest? I don't know. These people are very powerful, but they can't be compared to some of the old experts who came over 100 years ago. The desolate mountain was no longer peaceful. All the tribes were extremely nervous. They ordered their clansmen not to go out for fear of angering these experts. There was a village called Zhang Village. This village had existed for a very long time. A blacksmith with a stocky build stared at the experts who had rushed into the wild forest and destroyed the peace of this place. He had a simple and honest expression as he said, "I wonder what the purpose of these people is." The village wasn't big. An old man wearing a white robe walked over with a broom in his hand. He looked very spirited as he said, "It's a sign of chaos. I don't know how many people will die." Just now, a little guy was almost eaten by a beast. Grandpa Zhang. The children in the village were very lively. They circled around the old man, and the old man laughed heartily. Time passed day by day. Su Yin was dizzy. Did this place have anything to do with the Alcade Fist? Or maybe even Bamboo Moon? Su Yin and Zhang's son were talking. He was shocked. The Alcade Star was too big. It was vast and boundless. The entire savage mountain forest covered an area of 1,000,000 miles. It was just the border of the Alcade Star. Child, don't run around during this time. The injuries on your body are too serious. Su Yin asked how to leave this place. He wanted to find a bustling city. Zhang's son frowned and said, "It's too difficult to cross this savage mountain forest. It's even more difficult to go to a bustling city because it's too far away. Some heaven's favorites find it difficult to cross and spend a lot of time." Su Yin sighed in his heart. He could only wait until his injuries were healed. Some of the youths in the village were very envious of these outsiders. Some of the heaven's favorites that came in the past few days had spread their fame to a small place like the savage mountain forest. It was obvious that they were powerful and had nearly invincible battle strength in the same realm. The elders disagreed. They said that the village elder of Zhang Village was a shocking genius. He was invincible under the heavens. Now he had stepped into the vast starry sky and was conquering other star fields. I've endured it. A few days later, Su Yan's emotions surged. For more than 20 days, he felt like he was living in hell. But today, the pressure between heaven and earth was gradually dispersing. It could be said that Su Yan had already adapted to this world. Su Yan's body was crippled and very weak. Every movement would cause intense pain. Su Yan discovered a terrible problem. His Tao gate was faintly discernible and was very difficult to open. Once he tried to force it open, his entire body would be in intense pain and he would almost faint. This is a bit troublesome. Su Yan took a deep breath and opened the Phoenix hairpin space. He had a lot of origin essence stones in his hands. He burned them one by one in the dried-up life spring. In this way, the energy of over 1,000 origin essence stones spread out and wrapped around Su Yan's crippled body. Chapter 158. Su Yan had a blissful smile on his face. After all, it had been more than 20 days. He was in so much pain that he wished he was dead. Now, it was as if he was soaking in a hot spring. His entire body was being nourished by the gentle energy of the origin essence stone. Once he endured it, his potential would transform. That was because the laws of Alcade Planet were extremely grand and shocking. Moreover, they were the most complete. Now, Su Yan's broken body was connected to these laws. His body shone brightly and shone brilliantly. Strands of weak qi and blood began to awaken. His body was already broken, and now it began to reconstruct. For a moment, he seized the hidden laws of the world and used them to nourish his body. With each passing day, Su Yan's aura became stronger. His body rapidly recovered. After being repaired, his body was filled with Dali's strength. Oh no, I don't have many origin essence stones left. Su Yan frowned. When he was arranging the starry sky array, he had consumed a lot of origin essence stones. Although he had a few thousand origin essence stones, Su Yan never thought that the cost of repairing his broken body would be so shocking. Generally speaking, once a Yingjie from a super force returned to a super ancient planet, he would receive extremely powerful resources for cultivation. Origin essence stones were the weakest. This was because he needed a lot of nourishment to mend the flaws of his body. Once the transformation was completed, he would become even more powerful and shocking. It's also very difficult to open the Tao Gate. Su Yan sighed in his heart. He checked his own strength and was pleasantly surprised. This was because Su Yan discovered that his current physical strength was comparable to his peak. Now, Su Yan's injuries had not healed yet. This is the benefit of being a super life form. My Tao Gate realm body needs to refine the laws of divine power to nourish it. The laws of Earth are definitely incomparable to Alcade Planet. If I can completely recover, my combat strength will increase by another level. Su Yan's body shone brilliantly. At this moment, he faintly sensed the strength of Alcade Planet. On Earth, Su Yan could easily destroy a mountain with a single punch. But he couldn't do it here. The Alcade Planet's territory was very sturdy, and it wasn't something that could be casually shaken. This made Su Yan speechless. If it was the strongest ancient life planet, what would it be like? Even if I were to go to the bustling ancient city and find the sacred medicine, I still wouldn't be able to afford it. Su Yan frowned slightly. He only had a little more than 2 years left, and time was running out. Then, Su Yan smiled. The dragon totem could find treasures. In this super ancient life star, the dragon totem should be able to find some rare treasures. Maybe it could even find some sacred herbs. Since I'm already here, let's take it one step at a time. 100 years ago, not to mention finding a second ancient planet with life, even stepping into the universe was a problem. Su Yan was looking forward to it. He silently recuperated and prepared to wait until there were fewer experts in the Savage Mountains before thinking of a way to leave this place. Time passed day after day. It wasn't until the night of 3 days later that a terrifying aura spread out. The entire Savage Mountains seemed to be rumbling, and the mountains and valleys shook as if they were being pushed by a shocking strength. This strength was tyrannical to the extreme. The stars in the sky resonated with it, and a vast power of the stars fell down. A great figure from the Big Dipper star region has arrived. Here in the Savage Mountains, forces from all over the Alcade Planet had gathered. Cultivators from large and small families were present. Now they were all shocked. This was an unimaginable scene. In outer space, a silver river fell down, turning into a great silver path. Above the great path, there were all sorts of stars that were faintly discernible. The most eye-catching thing was that there were 7 resplendent stars floating in the sky. Without a doubt, this was the Big Dipper Fist. The large success Big Dipper Fist was something that only the great figures of the Big Dipper Palace could cultivate. In the entire Big Dipper star region, the strongest force was the Big Dipper Palace. The Big Dipper Palace had 7 palaces under it, and the Radiance Palace was also a subordinate force of the Big Dipper Palace. The Big Dipper Palace was the overlord of the Big Dipper star region. It could be said that they controlled the entire star region. Those who could cultivate the Big Dipper fist were definitely the inheritors of the Big Dipper palace. Various forces could already feel the power of the stars that was as deep as the sea. It was as if a great sage had descended into the world. "It's the Big Dipper's lord," a young man excitedly screamed. "Look, the Big Dipper fairy is here. It's the Big Dipper fairy." Su Yin, who was in Zhang village, was so excited that he almost jumped up. This was because he saw a familiar face. It was actually Bamboo Moon. At this moment, Bamboo Moon was peerlessly beautiful, graceful, and noble. She gracefully stepped on the great silver river as she arrived. Her clothes fluttered in the wind, and her appearance was peerless. She was like a silver moon in the ninth heaven, so beautiful that it was suffocating, causing the universe to lose its luster. The arrival of the Big Dipper Star Lord shook the entire Alcade planet. This woman was the Big Dipper Star Lord, the most powerful existence in the Big Dipper Star region. She was also the #1 beauty of the Big Dipper Star region. The Big Dipper Saintess of the past, the Big Dipper Fairy, and the current Big Dipper Star Lord. Why is she here? In the faraway Alcade City, the Alcade Hall Master's face was gloomy. Bamboo Moon was the Big Dipper Star Lord, the most powerful person in the Big Dipper Star region. However, Bamboo Moon was a woman after all. They were all unconvinced by Bamboo Moon. Moreover, Bamboo Moon had not cultivated for a long time. She had grown to this stage in just a few hundred years. Even the 7 Hall Masters were no match for Bamboo Moon. Among the 8 halls in the Big Dipper Star region, the Big Dipper Star Lord was the strongest. Once the Big Dipper Star Lord was elected, there was no doubt that she would be the most powerful person in the Big Dipper Star region. Bamboo Moon had already arrived at this desolate mountain forest. Her eyes were shrouded in silver divine light as she looked at the pitch-black star tomb. She could faintly see that there was an unimaginable ancient life planet buried in the star tomb. The Big Dipper Star, the most powerful ancient life planet, had sunk and fallen here. It was called the Life Forbidden Zone, and the outside world called it the Star Tomb. Bamboo Moon, ha ha ha, it's Bamboo Moon. Su Yin was excited. He left Zhang village and rushed in the direction of Bamboo Moon. He hoped that he could make it in time. Not long after Bamboo Moon arrived, the edge of the desolate mountain forest undulated and emitted waves of aura. Rumble, a deafening sound echoed, causing one's divine soul to tremble. Su Yin could feel an extremely terrifying energy radiating over and sweeping across the vast territory. For a moment, heaven and earth rumbled, and the mountains were about to collapse. Buzz! At the end of the horizon, there seemed to be a soaring, divine radiance. It was so dazzling that it was hard to open one's eyes. It was as if 10,000 sword embryos were unsheathed and wanted to split the sky. The rumbling sound of crushing the sky was also transmitted over, causing the earth to shake and the mountains to shake. At the end of the horizon, ferocious flood dragons appeared one after another. They were pulling a hazy ancient war chariot filled with primal chaos chi. 9 flood dragons pulling the chariot. Some of the villagers in the desolate mountain forest were scared silly. How astonishing was this? Flood dragons pulling the chariot, and even these flood dragons had a terrifying aura. They were all rare mutated beasts and had rivals in the same realm. But now, flood dragons were pulling the chariot? Su Yin was shocked. Any flood dragon could crush him. In our Big Dipper Starfield, apart from Shueguan, who else would have such boldness? This is imitating a heavenly deity. Everyone's expression was reverent. First of all, there were 9 flood dragons. Each of them was extremely powerful and suffused with a ferocious aura. They were vicious enough to move unhindered through the desolate mountain forest. A total of 9 were pulling an ancient war chariot suffused with primal chaos chi towards the Star Tomb. The people of the various major powers were overwhelmed with emotions. The war chariot was terrifying enough. It was hazy with primal chaos chi, like a primal chaos universe. Within the primal chaos, there was a figure sitting cross-legged. It was impossible to see clearly. When the 9 flood dragons pulled the primal chaos chariot to a stop here, everyone present felt suffocated. They were all about to be crushed under the might of the primal chaos chariot. It was rumored that this war chariot was the vehicle of a great expert. Since Shueguan could control such a war chariot. It was very likely that he had encountered a great opportunity. At this moment, the primal chaos split apart. An extraordinary figure walked out of the primal chaos and appeared between heaven and earth. His figure was tall and straight. His entire body was flowing with brilliance and golden radiance. He was like the son of a god, bathed in golden divine radiance. His body was also emitting the aura of a great divine ability. How terrifying! I can feel the aura of several great divine abilities. Everyone present felt their scalps go numb. They could faintly see a majestic giant door that could suppress the universe manifesting within his body. It was surrounded by divine ability light beams and contained waves of terrifying pressure. The Tao Gate realm cultivators were almost paralyzed on the ground. Divine ability secret door. When Su Yin saw it clearly, his heart was filled with shock because this divine ability secret door was too shocking. From the primordial realm to the life spring realm, weapon building realm, the Tao Gate realm, and the next realm was the divine ability realm. The life spring realm and the weapon building realm were actually one. Su Yin had cultivated to the third realm, the Tao Gate realm. The next realm was the divine ability realm. Inside Shueguan's divine ability secret door, the scene was monstrous. Some people could faintly see a blurry giant hand manifesting within the sacred door. It was capturing the gods and devils of the heavens. Even the invincible supreme true dragon was captured. There were even some terrifying scenes that manifested on their own. It was very difficult to see clearly, but they were emitting the aura of a great divine ability. It made one's hair stand on end. The 9 Daesong doors combined into one to form the strongest divine ability secret door. The rumors are true. I finally see the true face. Shueguan Supreme opened the 9 Daesong doors in the Tao Gate realm. I saw 5 rays of light in his divine ability secret door. He has already cultivated 5 divine abilities. I think he has at least 3 great divine abilities. It's simply heaven-defying. Yeah, even the Northern Dipper Fairy only has 2 great divine abilities in her divine ability secret door. However, Shueguan has gathered at least 3 of them. Su Yin looked at Shueguan's divine ability secret door. He scratched his head. If he could gather all 9 great divine abilities and bury them inside, it would be heaven-defying. Normally, the battle strength of those who had stepped into the divine ability realm was very abnormal. That was because the divine abilities inscribed in the divine ability secret door would erupt one after another. Divine power would be overflowing. This realm was called the divine ability realm. Their battle strength was extremely abnormal. I seriously suspect that Shueguan Supreme opened the 9 Daesong doors and created an invincible divine ability secret art. It's worth speculating. In the future, Supreme Big Dippers might will be able to sweep through all the major starfields. He will represent the Big Dipper starfield and be invincible in the world. Some people were discussing excitedly. Some called him Supreme Shueguan, while others called him Supreme Big Dipper. Supreme Big Dipper called him Shueguan. One could see this honor. Northern Dipper Fairy, I haven't seen you for many years. You've become even more magnificent. I heard you were injured some time ago. I happened to obtain some starry sky, heavenly liquid. I hope it can help you. Shueguan's face was full of smiles. His martial prowess was overflowing, and his might was shocking. He took the initiative to walk forward. He had always wanted to know the Northern Dipper Fairy's name. People in the outside world called her the Northern Dipper Star Lord or Northern Dipper Fairy. Some girls were jealous. Who didn't know that Supreme Big Dipper was chasing after Fairy Bamboo Moon? Although Fairy Bamboo Moon's talent was also heaven-defying, there was still a gap between her and Shueguan when she was young. A starfield could only have one young Supreme. If other Supreme youths appeared, it would definitely be a fierce struggle between tigers and dragons. Shueguan cultivated for 100 years and was invincible. He was revered as Supreme Big Dipper, and all challengers were defeated. Even Yaoguang Palace Master rushed over. His face was full of enthusiasm. He hoped that Shueguan and Bamboo Moon could become Tao companions. This way, Bamboo Moon would no longer have the qualifications to be the Big Dipper Palace Master. After all, Shueguan was a member of the Shui family. Yaoguang Palace Master was also curious. Shueguan's 9 great Dao gates combined to form a secret divine ability. Just what kind of divine ability would be born from this? Everyone knew that once the 9 great Dao gates combined, there would be an opportunity to give birth to an extremely powerful divine ability. This was also related to the scriptures one cultivated. Buzz. Many people were attracted by the jar of starry sky, heavenly liquid that Shueguan took out. The moment the jar was opened, thousands of auspicious lights filled the sky. Blurry golden stars appeared one after another, emitting overflowing life essence energy. Yaoguang Palace Master was startled. This item was too rare. It was a rare heavenly liquid that was naturally born in the starry sky. It would easily take hundreds of thousands of years to produce. Too heroic, as expected of Supreme Big Dipper. Supreme Big Dipper and Northern Dipper Fairy are truly a pair of immortal companions. If they could walk together, it would definitely be a major event that would shake the entire universe. Chapter 159. Shueguan's martial prowess was extraordinary, and his aura was stunning. His entire body uncontrollably exuded an invincible aura that could sweep across the world. Some people claimed that Shueguan would be able to suppress the older generation in less than 10 years and become an existence that could call the wind and summon the rain in the Big Dipper constellation. In the future, he might even be able to conquer the young paragons of other constellations. Bamboo Moon had become famous 100 or 200 years ago. Her beauty was unparalleled, and she was graceful and noble. She was the #1 beauty in the Big Dipper constellation. Now that Shueguan and Bamboo Moon were standing face to face, many people were envious and jealous. After all, Bamboo Moon was the most beautiful woman in the universe. She even had suitors in other constellations, including many young paragons. However, how many people could talk to Bamboo Moon face to face? Thank you, fellow Taoist. This item is too valuable. Bamboo Moon's clothes fluttered, and her black hair fell to her waist. She looked at Shueguan and said lightly, "Please take it back." "Fairy, you're too polite. I have no use for this item." Shueguan was all smiles. When he noticed Bamboo Moon's frown, he changed his words and said, "Fairy Bamboo Moon, are you going to enter the Star Catacomb? I'm willing to go with you." "The Star Catacomb is not open yet. It's not time yet." Bamboo Moon looked at the surrounding crowd and said lightly, "Do not barge in. Thank you for your guidance, Lord of Big Dipper." The people of many forces hurriedly bowed and spoke. Zhuyu had already left. Some of the young paragons sighed. With their strength, it was impossible for them to talk to Bamboo Moon. In the entire Big Dipper constellation, there were only a few paragons who could be compared to Shueguan. Why did she leave? Su Yin was almost at his destination. His face was filled with astonishment. Bamboo Moon had already left the desolate mountain forest. With her speed, how could Su Yin catch up with her? Shueguan was not bald at all. After he sent off the Bamboo Moon with a smile, his expression calmed down. His figure returned to the Chaos War Chariot, and his might shocked the heavens and the earth. Just like that, the 9 flood dragons pulled the Chaos War Chariot far away. "There's a treasure." As Su Yin continued to venture deeper, his expression changed. The dragon totem was burning, and there were even signs of it flying out. It was guiding Su Yin to the destination that Bamboo Moon was staring at. What is this place? Su Yin suppressed the joy in his heart. He came near the star tomb and listened to the discussions around him. He looked at the star tomb in surprise. Right now, the star tomb was pitch black with no end in sight. It was like a dark abyss filled with suffocating fluctuations. This was a life-forbidden zone. Once one trespassed, they wouldn't even know how they died. For a force like the Big Dipper Palace to call it a life-forbidden zone, one could imagine how dangerous it was. Inside the star tomb lies the strongest life ancient star. Just this point alone was enough to attract people to barge in and take a look. Many people didn't know how strong the strongest life ancient star was. An expert from the older generation explained, "The strongest life ancient star is very rare in the entire universe. To cross the star field and reach the strongest life, ancient star, is as difficult as ascending to the heavens. You guys are too weak now, so you can't experience the benefits of the strongest life, ancient star. When you get stronger, you will naturally experience the benefits. Normally, you won't be able to reach the strongest life, ancient star. They're all ruled by some super powerful forces. Long ago, our Big Dipper star field's Big Dipper star field was the strongest life, ancient star. It was very easy to prove one's Tao on such an ancient star. The younger generation was enlightened. They often heard the elders in their clans say that it was too difficult to prove one's Tao. However, if the Big Dipper star field had the strongest life, ancient star, it would be relatively easy. As for the strongest life, ancient star that was ruled by the universe's super forces, it was impossible to open it to outsiders. Since it was the strongest life, ancient star, why did it fall to the Alcade star? Someone was puzzled. Logically speaking, the strongest life, ancient star should be very strong. How can the Alcade star host the Big Dipper? You don't understand. An expert from the older generation laughed. The strongest life, ancient star isn't necessarily that majestic. According to ancient legends, our Big Dipper star field was one. In other words, it was a continent. Suyin thought about it and was shocked. The entire Big Dipper star field was a continent. But because of the sinking of the Big Dipper, the 7 superstars separated and turned into the current Big Dipper. Back then, the Big Dipper star field was the strongest life, ancient star. But because of the sinking of the core area, the Big Dipper star field was separated. Suyin was surprised. There was such a saying? In other words, the entire Big Dipper star field was a continent, but because of special reasons, it was separated. The strongest cultivation cord also sank and turned into a star tomb, a life forbidden zone. In the Big Dipper star field, only the Big Dipper star palace reigned supreme. After the 7 stars were divided, the 7 great palaces appeared. Of course, they were also part of the Big Dipper star palace. A young man said fervently, "It looks like the star tomb is going to split open. When the time comes, we can go to the Big Dipper to take a look. Maybe we can get a great fortune." These words made some old experts laugh. Every time the Big Dipper appeared, it was the time when the young geniuses competed. Once the geniuses of the entire Big Dipper star field came, what could they do? It was even possible that peerless geniuses from other domains would cross over and conquer the star tomb. Suyin didn't stay here for long and quickly returned to Zhang village. The star tomb hasn't opened yet. There are treasures inside. I must go in. I wonder when the star tomb will open. With my current strength, it's difficult to cross the border to Alcade City. But even if the star tomb can be opened, can I go in? Suyin clenched his fist. Judging from the temperature of the dragon totem, this treasure was very scary. It was second only to the immortal weapon fragment that he sensed. Little Yinzi, come to my house for dinner today. I have hidden a few bottles of old wine. Haha, let's get drunk. The village was very lively. Suyin had been here for a month and was familiar with the villagers. Suyin asked the elders in the village about the whereabouts of Tai Baokai. With Tai Baocai's appearance, if she really fell here, there should be news about it. But Suyin didn't find anything. Grandpa Zhang, some of the children in the village are very talented. Why don't you let them enter the big sex? Suyin was puzzled. There were hundreds of children in Zhang village. Suyin found that their foundation was very solid and they would have great achievements in the future, especially a few of the children who were very talented and had strong bodies. Hearing this, Zhang Sunshur was silent for a while and said, "They have no one to rely on. The living conditions in the big sex are too cruel. They can easily lose their lives. It's better to let them go by themselves. Whether they are dragons or wind in the future depends on them." Suyin couldn't help but sigh. People's hearts were hard to predict. Who would have thought that Zuyin on Earth had hidden so deeply? Little Yinzi, a tall and sturdy blacksmith, came. He was very strong, and his muscles were firm like an iron tower. He scratched his head and said with a simple and honest face, "It's only been a few days, and you are full of energy. Your body is very strong. Do you want to learn forging for me?" Su Yin was stunned. Village chief Zhang Sun sure laughed and scolded. What can be achieved by forging? The blacksmith stared at her and said, "What's wrong with that? How about forging? I can still forge divine weapons. Don't you think so, little Yinzi?" "Uncle Zhongshan, you can forge divine weapons?" Su Yan asked with a face full of interest. "Of course." The blacksmith laughed in Su Yan's ear. "I have forged a hoe. Don't mention how hard it is. I can cut through anything." Su Yan's face was a little dark. He thought that the blacksmith was a hermit expert. Sister Shan Shan is here. At this time, the village was in chaos. A group of children ran out like a group of calves. They surrounded a girl with an aura like an orchid in an empty valley. She was wearing a green dress. Her eyes rippled with joy. She waved at the children and took out many fun things for them. The elders in the village were full of smiles. Zhang Shanshan was also an extraordinary genius of Zhang Village. 3 years ago, she sneaked out and left a letter saying that she was going to learn from Master. Beside Zhang Shanshan was a young man in white. He was handsome and had a strong aura. His body faintly emitted a bright starlight. However, these wild children made Go Yangping frown. He was a little disgusted and distanced himself from them. He did not expect that the gifted Zhang Shanshan was really from a small village. "Damn girl, you still know to come back." The blacksmith came in anger. His face was red. He took big strides towards Zhang Shanshan. He was very angry. 3 years ago, she left a letter and ran away. This made the blacksmith miss her very much and was also very angry. Zhang Shanshan shivered, as if she had done something wrong. "Who are you?" Go Yangping's face changed. His body shone brightly as he shouted angrily, "How dare you be rude to my junior sister?" Immediately, "Shut up." Zhang Shanshan's eyes were about to pop out. She angrily stared at Go Yangping and scolded, "This is my father." "What?" Go Yangping was shocked. He quickly retracted his aura and smiled apologetically. "So it's uncle. Junior Go Yangping is from Alcade Hall." "Alcade Hall, enough, enough," the blacksmith said unhappily. "Why did you bring an outsider to the village? What's with your oily hair and powdered face? You look like a soft-footed shrimp. You're not as strong as Xiao Yinzi." "You." Go Yangping's face was filled with anger. A soft-footed shrimp? He was a core disciple of Alcade Hall. Now, he was looked down upon by a villager. This made Go Yangping furious. He almost could not hold back his anger. Zhang Shanshan stared at Go Yangping, as if telling him to behave. She quickly hid behind Zhang Sunshi and giggled. "Grandpa Zhang, I haven't seen you for 3 years. You're still as strong as ever." Zhang Sunshi's face was filled with helplessness. Although she had an elegant temperament, she was a troublemaker since she was young. She did not know how the blacksmith, who looked like a bear, had such a clever and strange daughter. "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Zhang Shanshan frowned as she noticed Su Yan. "Don't interrupt me." The blacksmith stared at her and said, "Watch your words. Xiao Yinzi is now living in the village chief's house." "What?" Zhang Shanshan's face changed. Ever since she was young, she had never dared to go to the village chief's house. Every time she sneaked in, she would be spanked by the blacksmith. From then on, staying in the house became a taboo for her. "He's Xiao Yinzi?" Go Yangping's face was gloomy as he looked at Su Yan. This person was stronger than him? What a joke. "Uncle, I'm about to step into the transcendent realm. My master specially asked me to come out and train. Coincidentally, Junior's sister was about to go home, so I came over to take a look. Alcade Hall has given us a mission. Soon, we will be exploring the Star Tomb. When that time comes, I will go too." Go Yangping specially pointed out his cultivation. After the Dao Gate realm was the Transcendent realm. How many Transcendent realm experts were there in the entire desolate mountain forest? It was impossible for a village like this to have a Transcendent realm expert. Only a few big tribes in the desolate mountain forest had one. Chapter 160. Back in the day, the strongest ancient star in the Big Dipper starfield, the Big Dipper, was buried in the Star Tomb. You can imagine the opportunities inside. If anyone from your village wants to go, come and register with me. I will bring you along to explore the Star Tomb and dig for treasures. Go Yangping spoke passionately, causing some of the children's eyes to sparkle. They really wanted to dig for treasures. "You want to dig for treasures?" The blacksmith mocked, shaking his head in disbelief. Hearing this, Go Yangping was already filled with anger. He did not reply and instead said to Su Yin, "Kid, I heard that you are very strong. Why don't we spar? Let Uncle see who is stronger." Go Yangping. Zhang Shanshan stared at him and said, "If you don't want to stay here, then leave. What did you say when you came?" Zhang village was peaceful, standing aloof from worldly affairs. The elders in the village were especially averse to fighting. Junior sister, Go Yangping was at a loss for words. He was very unhappy. He was a core disciple of Alcade Hall, yet he was looked down upon by a blacksmith. However, the blacksmith was Zhang Shanshan's father, so he could not offend him. He could only find Su Yin to vent his anger and prove his potential. "A bunch of barbarians, what do you know?" Go Yangping cursed in his heart. "You don't even know about our Zhaoguang Palace Hall. Barbarians will always be barbarians. You have never seen the world. If it wasn't to get Zhang Shanshan into my bed, I wouldn't have come to this godforsaken place." "Kid, why do I hear you scolding me?" The blacksmith stared at Go Yangping and said in an unfriendly tone. Go Yangping shuddered. Did the blacksmith know what he was thinking? That should not be the case. Even with the Alcade Hall master's powers, it was difficult for him to know what others were thinking. "Haha, uncle, stop joking with me." Go Yangping grinned and said, "I brought many gifts. When I saw you just now, I was so nervous that I forgot to bring them." Go Yangping painfully took out some good stuff. The blacksmith did not reject any of the gifts and carried them all away. This made Go Yangping angry. However, there were some young people in the village who were curious about the star tomb. They wanted to know what it was. Whenever Go Yangping showed off, he felt that he would be able to suppress the people of Zhang family village. Once the elders in the village started to take him seriously, wouldn't he be the strongest son-in-law in Zhang family village? Su Yin also asked from the side. He even understood how they came here. "Grandpa Zhang, where is the Yin clan?" When Su Yin returned, he asked about it. The Yin tribe was the largest tribe in the desolate mountain forest. This tribe controlled an ancient array platform that led to Brilliant City. Go Yangping and the others had all come here through this ancient array platform. Su Yin estimated that if he rushed to Brilliant City, it would take at least 1 or 2 years. By that time, the cucumber would be cold. Moreover, he didn't know how many dangers he would have to face. Currently, the fastest way was to cross to Brilliant City through the ancient array platform. It's not far. It's 3,000 miles to the west. Zhang Sunshi's words made Su Yin heave a sigh of relief. He wasn't in a hurry to leave Zhang family village. He wanted to see what would happen to the star tomb. If I didn't see wrongly, the mountain I saw when I approached Brilliance Planet was almost exactly the same as the Snow Mountain. In fact, it was this mountain that pulled me out. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in such a sorry state. If this mountain is in the core region of the star tomb, then it will be troublesome. Su Yin pondered. What was the relationship between Earth and the Big Dipper? Seclusion. Su Yin returned to the village chief's residence and focused on studying the totem's secret technique that the dragon totem had manifested on its own. This was a martial arts divine ability of the true dragon bloodline. Once he mastered it, it would be of great help to Su Yin. After studying it, Su Yin concluded that this was a martial art that targeted the body. Wong. His body shone with a dazzling radiance. The moment his blood essence recovered, Su Yin's limbs and bones began to transmit waves of the true dragon strength. He visualized the dragon totem and guided his blood essence to circulate. When his entire body began to move rhythmically, strands of extremely tyrannical strength seeped out from his body, faintly turning into a blurry, true dragon totem. Crackle. A deep roar sounded from his body. His damaged body began to move rhythmically, faintly recovering under the circulation of the true dragon's secret technique. However, circulating the true dragon secret technique consumed too much of Su Yan's blood essence. He could only proceed slowly, absorbing the essence of the world and absorbing the power of laws to refine his life essence and nourish his body. He was looking forward to seeing how tyrannical he would become once he fully recovered. Time passed day by day. Soon, 10 days had passed. Su Yin was frowning. His recovery was progressing very slowly. He had almost no origin essence stones left and had almost finished eating all the herbs he had. Boom! On this day, several thousand miles away, there was a stifling fluctuation. Su Yin felt as if he could feel the power of the void that pierced through the heavens. He ran out to take a look. 3,000 miles away, surging divine light illuminated the starry skies. There were many cultivators with powerful auras. The most eye-catching one was an indomitable existence. His body could easily split open the heavens. Behind him was a giant figure that seemed to reach into the starry skies. What a powerful existence! But why do I feel that he isn't as strong as Shui Guan? Could it be that Shui Guan isn't at the transcendent realm? That's terrifying. The difference between me and Alcade Planet's younger generation is too great. Su Yin was shocked. This was a blue-clothed old man. He was imposing without being angry and carried a golden sword embryo on his back. His might shook the heavens and earth. He had already cultivated to the 5th boundary. Su Yin pondered. If he had only cultivated to the 3rd boundary, then Shui Guan and the others might have cultivated to the 5th boundary. Look, this is our Alcade Palace's deputy palace master, Go Peng. Go Yangping said proudly. Go Peng is my 4th uncle. Our Alcade Palace has 3 deputy palace masters, and each of them has the ability to transcend the heavens. Su Yin was speechless. In the Alcade Galaxy, there were 8 major palaces. In fact, they all belonged to the Big Dipper Palace. Each of the 7 major palaces had 3 deputy palace masters. This meant that there were too many experts. However, these people were all subordinates of Zhu Yu. How strong was Zhu Yu? Kid, Go Yangping noticed Su Yin. He walked over with a gloomy face and said, You really know how to hide. You only came out now. What's the matter? Su Yin looked at Go Yangping. Go Yangping said unhappily, I heard from Uncle that you are very strong. Do you want to spar with me? I say, Go Yangping, don't cause trouble in the village. If you cause trouble, do you still want to marry Uncle Blacksmith's daughter? Su Yin sneered. What do you mean? Go Yangping was stunned and asked, Do you have any other ideas? Speaking of this matter, Go Yangping had a toothache. The elders in the village were stubborn. He mentioned this matter to Blacksmith many times, but Blacksmith stared at him like he was looking at a weakling. This made Go Yangping very angry. Did these people not know how strong Alcade Palace was? Aren't you bringing people to the Star Tomb? Bring me along. Su Yin said softly. You want to go to the Star Tomb? Go Yangping was instantly amused. I was just saying, do you want to die? You will be cannon fodder in the Star Tomb. I'm staying at the village chief's house. Everyone in the village listens to the village chief. Su Yin secretly threatened. Go Yangping's face twitched. A Bulsh *T village chief was so powerful? Wouldn't the young village chief be invincible? He said angrily, If you die in there, won't the people of Zhang family village hate me to death? This won't do. If it wasn't for Zhang Shanshan, he would have already taught these barbarians a lesson. Don't worry, I won't tell the villagers. You just have to bring me there. When I come back, I will make sure your dreams come true. Su Yin spouted nonsense. All right, that's what you said. Go Yangping clenched his teeth. He was starting to take Su Yin seriously. He had forgotten about Zhang Shanshan's position in the village. As long as he asked, would Blacksmith dare to refuse? What are you guys talking about? When Zhang Shanshan saw them whispering to each other, she frowned. Her limpid eyes scanned Su Yin. She had a delicate appearance, and her skin was smooth. She was very curious about Su Yin's background. Nothing, Su Yin and Go Yangping said at the same time. Zhang Shanshan didn't believe them. She chased Go Yangping away and looked at Su Yin. Finally, she stared at Su Yin and said, Although I don't know who you are, Grandpa Village Chief values you. You better stay away from Go Yangping. He is not a good person. Be careful that he doesn't sell you, and you still help him count the money. Su Yin shrugged and said, Don't worry, I will be careful. In the evening, Su Yin still told Zhang Shanshan. The old man was still worried and reminded him to be careful. Early the next morning, Su Yin followed them and left Zhang family village. Along the way, Zhang Shanshan glared at Go Yangping, making him hate Su Yin. He shouldn't have brought him. He was really afraid that Su Yin would die in the Star Catacomb. "Brat, you'd better be smart and say you're my follower," Go Yangping warned. "Don't cause trouble for me, or I can't protect you." At this time, they had already arrived at the Star Catacomb. There were many onlookers at the Star Catacomb. Various forces were gathered here. Even Alcade Palace had a vice palace master here. It seemed like they were preparing to explore the periphery of the Star Catacomb. The other forces were also preparing to enter to take a look. Su Yin didn't expect that he would wait for 3 whole days. On this night, the entire area was filled with a suffocating aura. Vice Palace Master Go Peng's eyes instantly opened. His entire being was like a burning celestial cauldron. Divine rays shot out from his eyes as he stared straight at the Star Tomb. The Star Catacomb was as black as ink, like a black abyss. But at this moment, it was no longer calm. The darkness was trembling and emitting a bright light. Indistinctly, one after another, blurry stars began to manifest on their own. "It's about to open." Gopin was pleasantly surprised. When he saw someone rushing in, he sneered. There were more than 10 people who went. When they approached the trembling darkness and were about to enter it, the stars that appeared in the darkness suddenly became 1,000,000,000 times more terrifying. It could be said that one after another, giant stars that could crush the heavens rumbled. These people didn't even have time to scream before they were annihilated and exploded into a bloody mist. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. As the phenomenon intensified, countless stars exploded one after another. Most of them were damaged stars, but these stars emitted light in the darkness. It was as if millions upon millions of stars in the universe were revolving. Boom! For a moment, the dark Star Catacomb was filled with chaotic aura. Billions of stars were wrapped in chaotic aura and rumbled. Suddenly, Su Yin seemed to see the Star Catacomb become many times more majestic. Countless stars propped up the darkness, and many cracks appeared in the darkness. Chapter 161. This is an unforgettable scene. Everyone gasped. However, an old expert from the Alcade Hall said that this was only a part of it. When the Star Tomb was fully opened, countless stars would open up a passage, and this passage would lead to the strongest ancient star, the Big Dipper. When that day came, this most powerful forbidden zone would become the most lively place in the Big Dipper constellation. It was even possible that peerless geniuses from other regions would cross over to fight for the fortunes of the Big Dipper constellation. Although the overlord of the Big Dipper starfield was the Big Dipper starfield, the Big Dipper starfield was already a second-tier force. With their strength, they couldn't withstand the pressure from the outside world. Therefore, they could only open up the Big Dipper and let the other major forces enter together. "Don't be hasty," Go Peng said coldly. "We'll go in the second day. The passage is still unstable." "Yes, Deputy Hallmaster." There were only a few dozen young disciples from the Alcade Hall. Many of them were top-notch existences, especially a few who emitted powerful divine ability aura. They were all geniuses in the divine ability realm. It seems like it's very difficult to break through to the divine ability realm. Many of the Alcade Hall's disciples haven't reached this stage. Su Yin thought in his heart. There were many people in the surroundings who were discussing and pointing. They were all discussing the geniuses of the younger generation of Yaoguang Palace Hall. What made them disappointed was that some of the extremely famous geniuses had yet to appear. They reckoned that the treasures unearthed in the periphery of the Star Tomb had yet to reach a level that would attract them. Go Jingming is here. Although he's strong, he doesn't deserve to be called a genius, especially since Yao Guang isn't here. What a joke. Yao Guang wouldn't come here if he had nothing to do. It's rumored that Yao Guang once competed with Shui Guan, but lost. Su Yin understood a lot about the Alcade Hall. He couldn't help but be shocked. Geniuses who opened the divine ability realm weren't considered geniuses. After all, the transcendent mystic realm was the 4th realm. His eyes scanned the entire place, and he noticed that many of the older generation were still in the Dao Gate realm, and there weren't many in the transcendent mystic realm. Therefore, he deduced that those who had stepped into the transcendent mystic realm were considered superior in the Alcade planet. "Yangping, Go Jingming walked with a majestic appearance. After all, he was the son of Deputy Hall Master Go Peng. He had the qualifications to become an expert with real power in the Arcade Hall. He could even inherit Go Peng's position. Go Yangping hurriedly rushed over, nodding and bowing. Senior brother, I haven't seen you for a long time, and you've become even more impressive. I didn't expect you to have cultivated another divine ability. Go Jingming was very pleased. Because of this matter, his position in the Arcade Hall had greatly increased. He smiled and said, "Follow me later." "Yes, senior brother." Go Yangping chuckled. "All right, senior brother, can I bring someone with me?" Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Su Yan was suspicious. Go Jingming and the others were assigning teams. But what surprised him was why they called the people of the savage mountain forest. They were not very strong, and there were very few of them in the Dao Gate realm. "You better be careful." Zhang Shanshan was worried. She warned Su Yan, "They are looking for cannon fodder. I can't be in the same team as you. You must be careful." Su Yan's face was gloomy. He said softly, "The Arcade Hall's Deputy Hall Master is not going? What do you know?" Zhang Shanshan said helplessly, "The Star Tomb has a very strong pressure. Experts will be targeted by the pressure. If Go Peng goes there, he will be shocked to death by the Star Tomb. This is a life-forbidden zone. There will be heavy casualties at every turn. Who knows how many people will die this time?" There were many people gathered. Tens of thousands of people would enter the Star Tomb. Over 10 young Ingjie from the Arcade Hall led many people. The rest were forces that came here to fish in troubled waters. On the second day, the phenomenon of the Star Tomb dissipated. There were some cracks. It was stable enough for a few people to pass through. "Let's go." Following Go Peng's order, the people here all rushed in. Su Yan followed Go Jingming and rushed in. Su Yan felt as if he had entered a dark universe. He held his breath and quickly sank. It was like a magical journey. Suddenly, Su Yan felt old. It was as if his life was taken away. When he regained his senses, he had already arrived at a ruined forest. There were screams coming from all directions. "These old farts still want to sneak in." Go Jingming said coldly, "This Star Tomb is our treasure. Don't you think it's fun to come here? It's better if you all die." "That's right, senior brother. I think there are some lowly people who want to fish in troubled waters. What do they know?" Go Yangping sneered. This made many residents in the Wildlands forest angry. But when they saw Go Jingming, they didn't dare to say anything. In the forest, a group of people died. Blood dyed the ground red. Before they came in, Go Jingming had already told them not to run or struggle. Otherwise, they would die in the cracks. Human lives are worthless. Su Yan felt a chill down his spine. At least a few hundred cultivators had died. Most of them were villagers in the Wildlands forest. If Go Peng had told them earlier, there wouldn't have been so many casualties. This place is much crueler than Earth. He sighed in his heart, and his eyes scanned the surroundings. The vastness of the territory here was beyond Su Yan's expectation. Although it was dilapidated and there were cracks everywhere, this territory was filled with a grand aura. It was filled with the vicissitudes of time. After all, this was the outer region of the strongest ancient star. Su Yan was not surprised. However, he felt that the essence of heaven and earth here was very thick. He could even faintly feel that there were strands of astral energy floating in the air. What a terrifying ancient star. If it was in the core region, it would be much scarier than the outer region. Su Yan was shocked. If he cultivated here for a long time and absorbed the astral energy, he would be able to cultivate a starry sky divine furnace. "Let's go." At Go Jingming's command, the crowd moved forward. There were more than 100 people in their group. The leader was Go Jingming's confidant. There were more than 20 disciples of Arcade Hall, but they were all ordinary disciples. After walking for a while, Su Yan's expression became serious. He observed the layout of the territory and faintly felt that there was a shocking, evil aura here. It was somewhat dangerous. He even vaguely felt that there were some broken arrays lying in wait nearby. Did a great calamity happen in the Big Dipper Star region in the past? Su Yan muttered in his heart. At this moment, Go Jingming ordered a group of people behind him to walk in front. These people were the villagers of the Wildlands Forest. They were all outstanding warriors. He wanted them to scout ahead. However, after thinking about the 500 origin essence stones that would be given to them, they braced themselves and rushed forward. The direction of the dragon totem is a bit far from here. I have to think of a way to lead them there. Su Yin muttered in his heart. After walking for a while, the essence of heaven and earth became more vigorous. They didn't encounter any danger along the way. They felt that the star tomb was not as dangerous as the legend said. Not good. Su Yin faintly sensed something. Just as he was about to rush in, the dozen or so villagers stepped on the broken array. The broken array awakened, releasing a murderous aura that cut through the sky. It directly killed a dozen or so villagers. A few were lucky enough to survive, were paralyzed on the ground. What do you think, Steward Wu? Go Jingming acted as if he didn't see anything. Steward Wu was clearly proficient in the art of arrays. He smiled and said, "Young master, it's fine. The space covered by this broken array is not big. Once I break it, we can continue to go deeper." The broken array had been drawn out. For a formation master, it was not difficult to break this kind of array. "Sir, I don't want to go. I don't want the 500 origin essence stones." The few villagers who were lucky enough to survive all wanted to retreat. This was too fierce. They could die if they weren't careful. Go Jingming's face turned cold. He didn't say anything. Go Yangping walked up and said angrily, "You lowly peasants, are you afraid of death? If you're afraid of death, why did you agree before? It's fine if you don't go, but according to the original agreement, hand over 3,000 origin essence stones." The villagers were dumbfounded. "When did this happen?" "Sir, if you didn't say..." Before he could finish speaking, Go Yangping took out a killing sword and pointed it at his throat. He said coldly, "If you don't have origin essence stones, you can only pay with your life. Aren't you bullying us?" Someone jumped up and tried to run. Go Yangping smiled cruelly. He waved his sword and directly shot out a ray of sword light. It pierced through the air and cut the escaping person in half. Blood flowed all over the ground. Murder. The crowd was in an uproar. They were all trembling. This was killing the chicken to warn the monkey. Whoever dared to retreat would only end up dead. Go Yangping didn't even blink. He didn't care about the lives of these villagers. It was as if he was killing a few ants. "All of you, go forward and line up in a row." While Go Jingming was giving out orders, Manager Wu had already broken the array formation and allowed them to continue moving forward. Su Yan, who had been watching, was furious. If this continued, these people would all die. He guessed that if there were no more people to explore, they would go back and recruit another batch. Their goal was to find some treasures. There were many broken arrays here. If they weren't careful, they would be in big trouble. Along the way, a large number of people died. "This is too bloody." Su Yan took a deep breath. "The weak are prey to the strong. This world is many times crueler than Earth. If I leave the group, I might be forced to be cannon fodder." Su Yan thought. Then he sharply sensed that there was an extremely violent earth vein chi brewing in front of him. Chance! Su Yan's eyes widened. This array was set up by the occult sect's disciples. Su Yan breathed heavily. Just as the villagers were about to walk on the broken array, Su Yan triggered the earth vein chi with lightning speed. He used the occult sect's array mark technique to guide the earth vein chi out. Boom! The ground in this area was trembling, and large cracks appeared in the sky. Violent earth vein chi gushed out like a sea of clouds, scaring the villagers. However, under Su Yan's control, the earth vein chi rushed furiously towards Go Jingming and the rest. Not good. Go Jingming and the rest's faces changed. Their legs went soft. They didn't want to end up like the dead villagers. "Run!" Su Yan howled. The crowd instantly became restless and fled in all directions. "Bastard, stop right there!" Go Jingming was furious. He didn't know who shouted. If they didn't have a suicide squad to fight for him, how were they going to search for treasures? Pung! Countless earth vein chi had already rushed over. Some treasures were crushed on the spot. Some of the ordinary disciples of Arcade Hall were screaming in pain. It was very difficult for them to withstand so much earth vein chi. Go Jingming and the rest had no choice but to run for their lives. The earth vein qi was too fierce. After all, it was the remnant energy of Su Yan's array. Su Yan ran very fast. He wanted to shake off Go Jingming and the rest and search for the treasure guided by the dragon totem. However, what made Su Yan's head hurt was that as he ran, Go Jingming and the rest somehow rushed towards the direction where Su Yan was running. Stop right there. Go Yangping was so angry that his nose almost became crooked. After all, he was the one who brought Su Yan here. It's good that you guys followed me. Who knows, I might have a use for you guys. Su Yan snorted in his heart. He wasn't a kind person. He didn't care about anything and just rushed forward. Go Jingming and the rest chased after Su Yan. After all, Su Yan was like stepping on a landmine. If there was any danger, he would definitely be the first one. Just like that, Su Yan was getting closer and closer to the treasure guided by the dragon totem. At this moment, Su Yan saw a mountain. The mountain was majestic and blood red. It was like a blood red divine mountain. Su Yan was excited. He looked at the blood red mountain. This mountain was located on a boundless plain. It was like a blood red dragon's head that wanted to soar into the sky. I'm rich. This is the land of the soaring dragon. It's very likely that the dragon marrow liquid has been nurtured here. The opportunity to reconstruct my true body is here. Su Yan grinned. This kind of terrain was very rare. He could faintly see thousands of blood-red, true dragon qi penetrating the sky. Chapter 162. Su Yan was already close to the blood-red mountain. Upon closer inspection, he realized that the blood-red mountain was filled with a strong array. It looked like a mountain, but it was also a place where dragons soared. It was not easy to break through, as there were many broken arrays everywhere. The arrays were so dense that even Su Yan was a little dazzled. At this moment, Su Yan's heart was beating rapidly. He saw that the mountainside area was surrounded by purple clouds. There was an exuberant life essence spreading out. What kind of herb is this? Why have I never seen it before? Su Yan's heart trembled. He could feel the exuberant life energy from far away. They saw 3 stalks of resplendent elixirs that looked like they were carved out of purple divine materials. They were emitting purple essence energy. The 3 stalks of purple elixirs were dazzling. They were emitting the essence energy of heaven and earth, flowing with purple clouds that pierced through the sky. Amazing. This can't be called a herb anymore. Su Yan had a feeling that after swallowing the purple elixirs, he could open a sacred door with just the medicinal power of the purple elixirs. What kind of amazing herb was this? At this moment, Go Jingming and the rest had already rushed over. Go Yangping instantly pulled out a silver sword embryo. The silver light flowed and emitted waves of dazzling sword aura. The sword embryo was densely covered with silver patterns that interweaved with the profound laws of heaven and earth. Su Yan frowned but did not say anything. If they wanted to kill him, Su Yan would not be afraid. Although his combat power was not small compared to Go Jingming and the rest. In the outer region of the Star Tomb with countless broken arrays, it was not certain who would be the one to kill who. Who knew that when Go Yangping arrived, he sneered, "Kid, you are really lucky. You are really lucky. You are actually safe all the way here. This is a divine weapon that my senior brother gave you as a reward." "A reward for me?" Su Yan stammered with a look of fear. "This is too precious. I was scared out of my wits just now. I ran here in a hurry. I told you to take it." Go Jingming was awe-inspiring. He placed his hands behind his back and said proudly, "This is a reward for you. Although you ran fast just now, you found 3 stalks of 5,000 years old elixirs. Your contribution is not small. 5,000 years old elixirs." Su Yan was dumbfounded. These 3 stalks of purple elixirs were actually 5,000 years old. Go Jingming's heart was filled with joy. A 5,000-year-old elixir was very precious. Once it appeared in an auction, it would cause all the forces to fight over it. This kind of precious elixir was too valuable. It could also be used to refine all kinds of rare elixirs. Su Yan held the treasured sword in his hand with an elated expression. He was cursing in his heart. The value of these three 5,000 years old spiritual herbs was too high when put together. How could a low-grade divine weapon be enough to send him away? Steward Wu's expression was solemn. He could feel that the remnant array within this blood-red mountain was extremely shocking. No need. Manager Wu shook his head and said, "Those trash. It's useless even if they come. Looks like we can only use the array-breaking plate now. I think there are many good things on this bloody mountain. There might even be 5,000 years old elixirs." Hearing this, Goat Jingming urged, "Hurry up. If others find this place, just use the array-breaking plate. Maybe we can dig out some rare treasures." Okay. Manager Wu's face was serious. Before he came, he had specially prepared some good things. The array-breaking plate was naturally indispensable. Wong. He waved his big sleeve, and a bright jade platform floated out. It was densely covered with array marks. When it was activated, it quickly enlarged like a white jade mountain. This was the array-breaking plate. It was very mystical. The jade platform spewed out powerful array marks and swept across. At the foot of the bloody mountain, the power of the array was immediately drawn out. "This thing is not bad," Su Yin said in his heart. The array-breaking plate exploded with a terrifying power and forcibly opened a passage in the array that led to the middle of the mountain. "What are you waiting for? Come quickly," Go Yangping urged. Su Yin had been staring at the array that was drawn out. He quickly memorized it so that when he went down the mountain later, he could directly rush down. This array-breaking plate could not last for too long. "Okay," Su Yin responded and quickly followed. Arriving in front of the three purple elixirs, Su Yin wanted to snatch them. However, he did not act immediately. He even felt that the soil in which the elixirs were planted was not small. The soil is also very strong. It has nurtured the essence of the earth. Go Yangping began to dig up the soil and prepare to bring it back to cultivate the elixirs. Just like that, one array-breaking plate after another was taken out by Manager Wu. The higher they went, the greater the harvest. Su Yan's eyes were red. Damn it, he had plucked more than 10 elixirs. The most terrifying one was an 8,000-year-old elixir. How scary is a 10,000-year-old elixir? Su Yan noticed that Go Jingming's breathing was heavy. The harvest this time was too great. These 10 elixirs, if sold together, could bind Transcendence divine weapon. Moreover, it would be a top-grade one. The elixirs in the elixir could prolong one's life. If it was a 10,000-year-old elixir, its value would be shocking. It would be of great use to Deputy Palace Master Gopeng. It could increase one's lifespan, strengthen one's weak qi and blood, and other effects. "Kid, you are very good. When we go back, I will reward you greatly." The more Go Jingming looked at Su Yin, the more he liked him. He could not help but pat him on the shoulder. "Damn it, I found this." Su Yin cursed in his heart. "You could have just given me a few elixirs. Hurry up and thank young Master Ming," Go Yangping hurriedly urged. He then nodded and bowed to Go Jingming. "Senior brother, if you can order this kid around, let him follow by your side and be your assistant. That will be great." Go Jingming was very satisfied. He felt that Su Yan's luck was very good. "Many thanks, young Master Ming. This subordinate will definitely go through fire and water for you." Su Yan patted his chest and promised. He was ready to find an opportunity to snatch the elixirs. At this time, Steward Wu suddenly said, "Young master, if we continue forward, we will reach the peak." According to this old man's many years of experience in treasure hunting, there should be something good at the peak. "All right, Steward Wu, use the array-breaking disc as soon as possible. I will reimburse you later." Go Jingming's eyes were slightly red. Maybe they could really dig out a 10,000-year-old elixir. His father, Go Peng's lifespan was already very old, and he needed this kind of rare elixir. "I say, Go Yangping, how valuable is a Saint elixir?" Su Yin could not help but ask. Hearing this, Go Yangping's eyes were bloodshot. "Saint elixir? What kind of joke is this? Once this thing appears, the entire Big Dipper starfield will erupt into a bloody storm. 10,000-year-old elixirs are not even worth a fart compared to Saint elixirs. It is said that the Big Dipper Palace Master has Saint elixirs, but I think even Deputy Palace Master Go Peng has not seen it before. Su Yin was silent. It was so valuable. Even if one had the money, it would be difficult to buy it. He clenched his fists and silently followed the group. Rumble. From here to the peak, the space of 1,000 feet was shaking. There were too many densely packed, broken arrays. Even Steward Wu's array-breaking disc could not open up a path. He could only grit his teeth and take out a purple array-breaking disc. This array-breaking disc was tyrannical. The materials required to make it were equivalent to half a Dharma armament. It was Steward Wu's signature treasure. Break for me. Steward Wu fully activated the array-breaking disc's power. This array-breaking disc emitted a dazzling light. In an instant, it was like a purple path, forcefully suppressing the power of the broken arrays and opening up an ancient path. Quickly charge. Steward Wu and the rest were overjoyed. More than 10 people rushed up and stepped onto the peak. As soon as they arrived, each and every one of them had a splitting headache. It was as if they heard the roar of a true dragon. Even the billowing, murderous aura of a true dragon spread out, making their hair stand on end. Su Yan's heart trembled. His eyes were wide open as he saw what was like a true dragon furnace in front of him. Countless true dragon chi flowed out, one after another, as if they had a life of their own and contained monstrous blood essence. Could it be true dragon blood? No wonder the dragon totem would go berserk. This thing is very useful to the dragon totem. Su Yan almost roared. This was a rare and precious liquid, true dragon blood. It was a sacred object to refine the body and belonged to the most frightening cultivation resource. His heartbeat was accelerating. This thing was a little terrifying. If word got out, it would cause a huge commotion. 4 young geniuses, it was a valuable treasure that was worth risking their lives for. Rumble. At this time, 7 or 8 disciples madly rushed over. Their eyes were red as they roared. This is mine. This was true dragon blood. Once they obtained a few drops and refined them, their bodies would transform. Their potential will be transformed. In the future, they could become Alcade Hall's inheritors. This thing could change their fate. Courting death. Go Jingming was furious. They actually dared to disobey his orders and rush over to take away the true dragon blood. Hee, young master, don't worry. Can I take it away? Manager Wu said coldly. Go Jingming's expression instantly turned cold. Just like this, when the 8 disciples approached the true dragon blood, each of them trembled. Their bodies were torn apart by the aura of the true dragon blood, exploding in the air. Kiki courting death things. Go Yangping and the rest trembled. These 8 disciples actually died on the spot. How could they withstand the power of the true dragon blood? However, they were just ordinary disciples. Go Yangping did not care. Young Master Ming, what do we do now? Go Jingming's 2 trusted subordinates were restless. However, they knew that it would be difficult to get close to the true dragon blood. I have my own ways. Strands of terrifying airflow suddenly emerged from the top of Go Jingming's head, and this caused Su Yin to be astounded. A pearl that was dazzling and monstrous to the heavens was like a star that was suffused with the energy of the galaxy that was deep like an ocean, and a strand of blurry aura of the Grand Tao was faintly discernible within it. Celestial body. Su Yan's heartbeat quickened. However, it had not evolved into a Tao weapon. This should be the lowest grade of celestial body. However, it had been refined into a transcendence treasure. It should belong to the highest grade of transcendence treasure. Go Jingming looked coldly at Su Yin and said, Take my father's treasure and go retrieve the true dragon blood. I'll go. Su Yan's expression changed. His heart was filled with joy. He knew that Go Jingming would definitely send him to scout ahead. Why? You're not willing. Go Jingming's expression darkened. Beside him, Go Yangping said angrily, Just now you said that you would go through water and tread on fire for young Master Ming. What's wrong now? Are you afraid? No. Su Yan's head was like a rattle drum. With a long face, he said, But the aura in front is too strong. Why don't you let Go Yangping go? Go Yangping wanted to slap Su Yan. With a darkened face, he said, What are you afraid of? With Deputy Palace Master Go Peng's treasure protecting you, Even the gods can't kill you. Haha, young man, cultivation has always been against the heavens. If you're afraid of hardship, how can you become strong? Steward Wu said eerily, as young Master Ming's subordinate. It is only right that I open up new territories for him. Go, young man. Kill your way out of adversity and become a strong cultivator in the future. Adversity your ass. Su Yin cursed in his heart. If you retrieve the treasure, you will naturally be rewarded. Go Jingming said, when the time comes, I will give you a 5,000-year-old spirit medicine, a transcendence treasure, and a woman. How about that? Chapter 163. Young Master Ming, can this kid rush in? Manager Wu was still worried and said, the true Dragon Blood's pressure is too strong. Only the Deputy Hall Master can suppress the true Dragon Blood and take it away, but the Deputy Hall Master can't enter. Hearing this, Goat Jingming sneered. Him? How is that possible? Although my father's treasure is strong, it can't stop the true Dragon Blood's power. I'll let him scout the way for me. If it doesn't work, I can go back and inform my father so he can send a large group of experts over. With my father's connections, it's possible to borrow a few treasures. When the time comes, we can definitely take the true Dragon Blood. You must be quick, young Master Ming. Don't let others notice. Once the true Dragon Blood's matter is leaked, the outcome will be hard to predict. Go Yangping was extremely excited. Once Go Jingming obtained the true Dragon Blood, he would also soar. He no longer cared about Su Yan's life. When the time comes, he would be in a high position. He didn't believe that Zhang Shanshan would dare to oppose him. Go Jingming naturally knew that with his position in Alcade Hall, he didn't have the qualifications to use such a terrifying resource. Once other disciples found this place and fought with him, Go Jingming would be in a passive position. Boom! At this moment, Go Peng's treasure had already awakened. This was a star. Although it was the lowest grade star, its value is still very high. Once it awakened, it released the power of the Milky Way. The celestial body rapidly enlarged like a majestic mountain, resisting the pressure of the true Dragon Blood. Su Yin took one step after another towards the true Dragon Blood. Yes, the true Dragon Blood had a pressure, but Su Yin had the Dragon Totem. Once the Dragon Totem went crazy, the true Dragon Blood would definitely be absorbed by it. Every step was extremely difficult. Even the astral treasures were shaking. Su Yan's face was pale. He turned his head and said, Young Master Ming, I don't have enough essence qi in my body. I can't use the treasure. I'll go back first. You little brat, retreating when faced with a little difficulty. Manager Wu's face darkened. He threw over a storage bag and said, there are 1,000 origin essence stones in here. No matter what, you have to charge through. Don't worry, charge forward boldly. Go Yangping tried to boost Su Yan's fighting spirit. You've taken the true dragon's blood, and in the future, you'll be above arrest. Young Master Ming will also give you a woman. This is a good opportunity to bring honor to your ancestors. You must know that this is a woman from a big family. Don't worry, young Master Ming. I'll definitely get the treasure. Su Yin said confidently as he absorbed the essence energy within the origin essence stone. He continued to walk forward. Every once in a while, he would complain that he had used up all of his origin essence stones. Manager Wu's expression was extremely ugly. This brat was taking advantage of the situation to extort him. Young Master Ming, we can't let him live. We'll kill him when he comes out, Manager Wu said with a sinister smile. Go Jingming's face was also very gloomy. He had already given him 5,000 origin essence stones, which was enough to activate the astral body ultimate treasure for a long time. He really hadn't expected that a barbarian would dare to take advantage of this opportunity to extort him. He looked at Su Yin as if he was looking at a dead man. Su Yin had already penetrated more than 3,000 meters. At this moment, his emotions surged. This was because he saw that there was a dragon cave in front of him. To be more precise, this was a large crater that had been smashed open by the dragon cave. The crater was filled with an ominous aura that seemed to be able to tear apart the heavens. This was an entire pool of crimson true dragon cave. They were filled with a vast pressure and exuded the aura of a true dragon. They were gushing with true dragon chi. I've struck it rich. Su Yan's eyes were red. Countless years had passed, and the true dragon cave power had been greatly diminished with the passage of time. However, this pool of true dragon blood was also extremely useful to Su Yan. It was enough to allow him to be reborn. Su Yan guessed that this was the place where the true dragon had been wounded. This was because he saw that within the true dragon blood, there were sparkling and translucent dragon bones that emitted a terrifying aura. This was extremely important. These dragon bones could be refined into rare divine weapons. They could even be refined into dragon bone treasured liquid to nourish the bones within the body. Boom! At this time, the dragon cave automatically emitted a true dragon killing intent, causing the astral treasure to tremble. The faint strength of a true dragon tore through the astral treasure's energy barrier and seeped into Su Yan. In the next moment, Su Yan's body showed signs of collapsing. This was the strength of the true dragon blood. It was too astonishing. It was not something Su Yan could resist. However, the dragon totem was different. It had awakened on its own and swallowed this true dragon chi. Because the energy emitted by the astral treasure was too astonishing, Go Jingming and the others weren't able to see it clearly. They only saw that Su Yan had already approached the dragon cave. Su Yan had pretended to break into the vicinity of the dragon cave. Good. Go Jingming was a bit incredulous. He excitedly said, "Very good. Immediately activate the astral treasure and bring out the true dragon blood colt. If you bring out all the true dragon blood, I will reward you greatly." He was extremely excited. Once he obtained the true dragon blood and tempered his body, his potential would transform. In the future, not only would he inherit his father's position as Vice Hall Master, he would even have hopes of becoming the Hall Master of Alcade Hall. This idiot! The corner of Su Yan's mouth twitched. His eyes looked at the pool of true dragon blood, his eyes burning with passion. "Ha ha ha, I'm coming." Su Yan directly jumped into the dragon cave. At this moment, Su Yan's body was about to explode. However, the dragon totem had awakened. It emitted a terrifying, devouring power and absorbed the precious blood in the dragon cave. Go Yangping and the others were dumbfounded. Although they couldn't see the dragon cave clearly, they saw Su Yan jump into the dragon cave. Go Jingming's face was so sinister that it almost distorted. Su Yan actually jumped into the dragon cave. What was he doing? Could it be that he wanted to bathe in the true dragon blood? Young Master Ming, this brat is really daring. He ate the guts of a god, Go Yangping said with a sullen face. Also, how can the true dragon blood be digested by him? Shut up. Go Jingming wanted nothing more than to kick Go Yangping to death. He was the one who brought him here, but now Su Yan had rebelled and actually coveted his true dragon blood. Furthermore, they discovered that Su Yan seemed to be fine. Manager Wu and the others' faces were sinister, but they didn't dare to act rashly. They could only wait patiently. What a great fortune! Su Yan's entire body was stained with the true dragon blood. At this moment, Su Yan almost self-immolated and disintegrated. The true dragon blood contained too much essence and blood. It was about to tear Su Yan's body apart. Buzz. His body awakened. When the initial scripture was activated, Su Yan's body turned into a golden furnace, swallowing the energy contained in the true dragon blood. This was an extremely powerful tonic. Su Yan's entire body was resplendent. His originally damaged body was now recovering at a terrifying speed under the nourishment of the true dragon blood. Even the overbearing medicinal power of the true dragon blood drilled into the depths of his body, causing Su Yan's bones and organs to transmit a heart-wrenching pain. What an astonishing medicinal power! Su Yan's body trembled. The true dragon blood was a source of power that could tear everything apart. It contained the charm of a true dragon. Swallowing the true dragon blood was not easy. Without an extremely strong body, it was impossible to do so. Come, use the true dragon secret technique to reconstruct my body. Su Yan gritted his teeth and activated the true dragon secret technique with difficulty. He visualized the world, the dragon totem, and himself as a true dragon. Just like this, Su Yan's body shone brightly. His entire body was like a dragon's body, rising and falling. Crackle. The overbearing true dragon blood combined with the true dragon secret technique that Su Yin grasped caused his body to distort. Luckily, the initial sutra was powerful enough. It constantly stole the tonic contained within the true dragon blood and restored Su Yan's body. All the bones in his body were breaking apart and reforming. He was being reborn. The blood in his body was roaring. After absorbing the true dragon blood strength, his blood essence rapidly strengthened. There was even some waste blood that was forced out and flowed out from his pores. The dragon totem's absorption was even more astonishing. But every time it absorbed, the dragon totem's charm became even more terrifying. Even the true dragon secret technique that was born on its own became stronger. It seemed to be nurturing a divine ability that could pierce through the heavens and earth. Bastard! Go Jingming and the others were about to go mad with anger. Half a day had passed, and Su Yin was still unharmed. Moreover, they could sense that the pressure emitted by the true dragon blood had decreased by a level. But they didn't have any supreme treasures, so they didn't dare to rush over. An entire day passed. Su Yin had been quietly transforming. The dragon totem stopped absorbing. It seemed that the true dragon blood was no longer of any value to it. Su Yan's body was bright red. His pores spat out a lot of waste blood and broken bones. He was rebuilding his body. In the process of being reborn, his body also absorbed the divine power of this world's laws, perfecting the flaws of his previous body. For an entire day, Su Yan's body seemed to have stored a terrifying divine treasure. This was the essence of the true dragon blood's great medicine. As it flowed, Su Yan's body was filled with explosive strength. Even the saint gate in his body was blazing. The divine power of the true dragon blood's great medicine was naturally enough to repair Su Yan's saint gate. Thump, thump. Following that, Su Yan's heart beat vigorously. It was like a heavenly drum exploding. It was like thunder filled with powerful vitality. In my current state, it won't be difficult to deal with Zhu Hong, Su Yin muttered in his heart. After the reconstruction, his combat strength had increased greatly. But Su Yin felt that it would be difficult for him to deal with a divine ability realm expert. Wong! Su Yan's body reconstruction was about to be completed. The essence blood contained within was like a rushing river. It's a pity that the dragon totem has absorbed too much. There's not much true dragon blood left. I wonder if I can exchange it for some essence divine elixirs. Su Yin didn't dare to absorb it. The true dragon blood had the effect of improving one's body. It would be a waste to use it as a tonic to increase one's strength. Charge in. At this time, the pressure of the true dragon blood decreased again. Go Jingming had reached his limit. He let out a furious roar. Charge in. The 5 experts took out their secret treasures and charged into the dragon cave, while enduring the remaining pressure of the true dragon blood. Chapter 164. Su Yan's expression was solemn as his forehead glowed. His golden primordial spirit walked out, holding a golden Genesis brush. Genesis brush. Manager Wu was shocked as he looked at the Genesis brush held by Su Yan's primordial spirit in disbelief. Even Go Jingming did not know what a Genesis brush was, but Manager Wu knew it all too well. A Genesis brush's value was not inferior to a true dragon's blood. In fact, a true dragon's blood of such quality might not even be able to exchange for a Genesis brush seed. To a Formation Dao Grandmaster, a Genesis brush was as precious as their life. However, a small fry like Su Yin actually had a Genesis brush, which made him feel incredulous. Clang! Su Yan's primordial spirit stood in the air, holding the Genesis brush and drawing layers of formation markings that sprinkled down. Boom! The dragon cavern lit up as killing power surged out. Su Yin had already copied the formation markings earlier. Now, he only needed to open the killing formation to unleash the power of the dragon controlling formation. There's a killing formation here. Go Yangping and the rest had just charged in when they were trapped by the killing formation, especially the 2 disciples at the front. They were caught off guard and met with the strongest pressure of the dragon controlling formation. They crumbled one after another, unable to resist. Bastard! Go Jingming's hair stood on end. The secret door of his life's spring had opened, and his aura was ferocious. It was several times stronger than a Dao Gate expert. He held a starry battle spear, which blocked the power of the dragon controlling formation the moment it was unleashed. Go Jingming's battle strength was extremely strong. He was a great expert of the transcendent realm. It was very difficult to kill Go Jingming with the remaining true dragon's power in the dragon cavern. However, as long as they were trapped, Su Yin would have enough time to complete the reconstruction. Kid, you better let me out and leave the remaining true dragon's blood behind. Go Jingming shouted angrily. On the Alcade planet, my Alcade Hall is the true ruler. A small fry like you dares to go against my Alcade Hall. It's not too late for you to think clearly. They were all trapped by the array, so it was very difficult for them to charge out. Even Go Peng's treasure had been stored away by Su Yin in the space within the Phoenix hairpin. Go Jingming was unable to control it. His greatest trump card had been destroyed just like that. So how could he not be furious? If you make a mistake, Zhang Village will be buried with you. Go Yangping said in a trembling voice. Stop immediately. Su Yin did not say a word and continued to cultivate. His entire body shone with golden light. After his body was reconstructed, it gradually became stronger. At the same time, Su Yan's damaged holy gate finally opened. The Fate Spring gushed out a dazzling divine light and transmitted a deafening scripture chant. It was as if an ancient saint was chanting scriptures in his Fate Spring. Go Jingming and the others were scared silly. This was a grand Dao gate slowly opening. It was filled with wisps of saint aura. When it was fully opened, there were thousands of strange phenomena in the saint gate. It was as if a universe was opening. There were blurry celestial bodies, a red sun that appeared from time to time, a golden sea that could be vaguely seen, and a divine moon that illuminated the 9 heavens. There were so many strange phenomena that they were uncountable. It was as if a universe was revolving here. The sound of scripture chanting could be heard in the Saint Gate. Every syllable was like a carrier of rules that controlled the power of the Saint Gate. Su Yan's Saint Gate was even stronger than when he was on Earth. Saint Gate. Go Jingming stuttered. He was scared stiff. In the entire Big Dipper starfield, there were only a handful of people who had opened a Saint Gate. However, they were usually the last to open it. It was too rare to be the first to open a Saint Gate. The number of geniuses in the Big Dipper starfield could be counted. However, Su Yin had actually opened the first Saint Gate. The strange phenomena in the Saint Gate were too shocking. The sound of scripture chanting made Go Jingming's hair stand. What kind of scripture was this person cultivating? Could it be some kind of supreme scripture? Go Yangping trembled. This was a Saint Gate. He actually had the ability to open it. He seriously doubted Su Yan's background. Boom! Su Yan's physical body had been awakened to the extreme. When he woke up, the king's aura filled the sky. The blurry sea of chaos appeared behind him and started to undulate. His limbs and bones vibrated with unparalleled strength. Su Yan's physical body seemed to be constructed from rules. It exuded the aura of a true dragon, and its power was shocking. He has mastered the true dragon secret technique and has a king physique. Wait, why do I feel that his king physique is a divine physique? Could it be that he has the legendary true dragon physique? Steward Wu was scared witless. It was as if Su Yin was carrying a true dragon on his back. His spine was emitting light, as if a true dragon was coming out of the sea. As for Su Yin, he realized that his physique was about to evolve into a divine physique. This surprised him. The true dragon blood's origin energy was not enough to evolve his physique. This meant that Su Yan's physique was too shocking. It's still the supreme life, ancient star. The rules in my physical body are already very powerful. With my current physical strength, I can kill Zhu Hong in a head-on fight. I don't need to borrow the power of the sacred gate. Su Yin thought to himself. He could feel his strength, but he still felt a sense of urgency. Some of the people he came into contact with were all transcendent realm experts. Even Deputy Hall Master Go Peng had cultivated the 5th secret realm. As for Bamboo Moon or Shueguan, they were definitely more terrifying. When he was on Earth, the The strongest was the Taoist realm. However, this world was too dangerous. Su Yin smiled bitterly. He was just a small cultivator. Kid, I'll give you a chance. Join Alcade Hall, and I'll let you become a disciple of the legacy. I'll let bygones be bygones. Go Jingming suddenly said. Su Yan's gaze fell on them. Coldness flashed in his eyes as he sneered. You people are vicious. In order to search for treasures, you killed so many villagers. I don't want to be associated with you. Su Yan, I advise you not to make a mistake. Go Yangping's face was ashen as he said. Otherwise, Zhang village will be buried with you. Idiots. Now that you're in my hands, what can you do? Su Yan shook his head and said coldly. Just now Su Yan, might have some misgivings. I don't want to provoke you, and I don't want to provoke Alcade Hall. Su Yan stood up slowly and stared at the three of them with murderous eyes. He said coldly, but you shouldn't have used Zhang village to threaten me. I can't let you live. Wisps of murderous aura swept over. Steward Wu roared and threw out dozens of array destruction discs. The moment they exploded, the traces of the Imperial Dragon formation were about to be destroyed. Kill him. Go Jingming and the rest rushed forward. It was also at this moment that the Imperial Dragon formation that was about to collapse burned fiercely once again. Su Yan stepped on the ground and his clothes fluttered. He triggered the Dragon Chi here, causing the power of the Imperial Dragon formation to increase exponentially. Kacha! Su Yan pushed the power of the Imperial Dragon formation. It was awe-inspiring, drawing out the remaining true Dragon Chi from the Dragon Cave. As he boiled, the dozens of array destruction discs began to shatter, just like that. Not good. He's a special cultivator. Steward Wu's scalp went numb. The world was filled with afterimages. This was the power of the true dragon's murderous aura. The moment it swept over, Steward Wu and Go Yangping screamed as their bodies began to shatter. Before Go Yangping died, he couldn't understand why someone like Su Yan would appear in Zhang village. You trash. You actually killed so many of my subordinates. But that's exactly what I wanted. Your matter must not be exposed, ha ha. Go Jingming laughed loudly. The secret door of the divine ability in his body had awakened. The power released caused his divine ability to shine brightly. Astral palm. Go Jingming's palm fiercely chopped down. It was powerful and shocking, containing the power of the divine ability. In an instant, a corner of the Imperial Dragon formation collapsed. However, the full force of the Imperial Dragon formation's murderous aura caused Go Jingming's body to tremble violently. The layers of True Dragon's murderous aura caused him to cough out blood. The secret door of the divine ability dimmed for a moment. However, he endured it forcefully and laughed angrily. You dare to go against me when you're only at the first heaven of the Taoist realm. Without the murderous aura, how can you fight me? You trash. Even if you open the sacred door, you'll still be trampled under my feet. Who gave you such confidence? Su Yan shook his head. His aura erupted. When the Big Dipper fist was activated, the four fist techniques were awakened one after another, causing Su Yan's aura to shake the heavens. Go Jingming's head was buzzing. He was so scared that he almost fell to the ground. Big Dipper fist. His eyes widened. Only a small number of people from the Big Dipper were qualified to cultivate this divine ability. Could it be that Su Yan was a disciple of the Big Dipper Palace Hall? Go Jingming's absent-mindedness allowed Su Yan to arrive in an instant. This fist was terrifying and unstoppable. It ruthlessly hammered onto Go Jingming's body. Go Jingming's reaction was swift and violent. He raised his palm to block the attack. However, he did not expect Su Yan's fist to be like a mountain. It caused his body to tremble violently and his entire arm to shatter. Could it be that he's a disciple of some big shot from the Big Dipper Palace Hall? Go Jingming roared happily. His sharp eyes looked at Su Yan. He did not look like a human, but more like a ferocious dragon in human form. His body was too terrifying. Cough. Su Yan also coughed out blood and staggered back. He was very surprised. The power of the divine ability secret realm was too shocking. It contained the power of the divine ability, and the divine energy in his body was completely different. Kill! Su Yin shouted angrily and rushed forward. His palms formed a fist seal, and his moves were wide open as he attacked Go Jingming. Go Jingming was already a one-armed man. Su Yin wanted to use the advantage of his body to kill him. Su Yan's body was strong, his blood essence was vigorous, and his meridians were like a dragon. Go Jingming gritted his teeth and got up. The divine ability's secret door was completely ignited. The three divine abilities were immediately awakened and smashed towards Su Yin. Boom! This was a collision. It was Su Yan's first time facing a divine ability realm expert. A thunderous sound rang out between heaven and earth, as if divine metals had collided. PFFF. Su Yan's body trembled, and cracks appeared on his powerful treasure body. At the crucial moment, his life cauldron exploded and blocked the power of the divine ability secret door. However, he was also dizzy from the impact. Is his body even tougher than a divine weapon? Some of the bones in Go Jingming's body were broken. He was a divine ability realm expert, and his body was actually weaker than a Tao Gate First Heaven cultivator. Just now, he had exploded with the power of three divine abilities. How could Su Yin block it? Die! Su Yin rushed forward and took out his life cauldron. The power of the Milky Way gushed out from the cauldron and pressed down. It contained the power of collapsing mountains. Don't kill me. Go Jingming's body trembled. The power of the life cauldron made Go Jingming despair. When he crashed down, he was killed by the life cauldron. In such a short battle, I was already severely injured. The combat power of a divine ability realm cultivator is too strong. He's just a legacy disciple. How scary can those geniuses be? Su Yin panted heavily. In this world where geniuses ran rampant, the only way to have the qualifications to compete with them in the future was to catch up with them. At the moment of Go Jingming's death, the entire Alcade city was emitting a murderous intent that was as cold as the sea. The guards guarding the Vital Spirit Lamp Hall reported the news to their superiors. For a moment, the entire Alcade city was filled with discussions. The death of the legacy disciple, Go Jingming, was a huge news. Moreover, he was the son of the deputy hall master. Go Jingming's vital spirit lamp had been extinguished. His life lamp had been extinguished, proving Go Jingming's death. Chapter 165. He took away the precious blood from the dragon cave and sealed it in a jar. Su Yan's worries were also settled. With this true dragon blood, he might be able to exchange it for a small portion of sacred medicine. He also obtained 3 true dragon bones. Because of the existence of the true dragon blood, some heavenly treasures were born here. Some stones turned into rare ores that contained dragon chi and were especially valuable. These ores are not bad. I can use them to set up a great killing formation. Su Yin picked everything clean, especially the treasures on Go Jingming and the others. His harvest was huge. There were more than 60,000 light source essence stones. Of course, the dozen or so spirit herbs were the most valuable. These were the cultivation resources he urgently needed. Cultivate. Su Yin made a prompt decision. He took out a 5,000-year-old spirit herb and swallowed it. This spirit herb contained an exuberant divine energy. After it dissolved, its medicinal energy flowed into his life spring. Whoa! Su Yan's life spring shone resplendently. He was breaking through and preparing to open the second sacred gate. However, the resources required to open the sacred gate were too great. Normally, opening a divine-grade Tao gate would require around 3,000 origin essence stones. Su Yin guessed that with the strength of his life spring, the price to open the sacred gate would be astonishing. Tens of thousands of origin essence stones might not even be enough. It would be even more difficult later. Su Yin didn't know how many origin essence stones he would need to open the 9th Daesong gate. The first spirit herb's medicinal energy allowed Su Yin to open the second sacred gate. However, even the majestic medicinal energy within the spirit herb wasn't enough to open the sacred gate. Damn it, this is a 5,000-year-old spirit herb. My estimation was wrong. The first sacred gate was broken through in the strongest training space. I didn't calculate how many resources it would take. Su Yan's face darkened. He swallowed the second spirit herb. The essence of the two spirit herbs caused the half-opened sacred gate to rumble. It was as if an ancient small world was about to open. This is troublesome. The difficulty of opening each sacred gate increases. I want to open the ninth Daesong gate. How many resources do I need? Su Yin frowned. The hardest part was the few saint gates behind him. He had to spend a huge amount of resources. Su Yin gritted his teeth and swallowed another spirit herb. The medicinal efficacy of the 3 stalks of spirit herbs caused the aura within Su Yan's body to skyrocket. The second sacred gate was finally opened. It was like a huge volcano was burning, and waves of divine power spread out like stormy waves. Second grade, Dao Gate Realm. Su Yan's aura surged. Every time he opened a holy gate, his battle prowess would increase exponentially. After opening the 9 Daesong gates in succession, Su Yan's magic power would be extremely shocking. These spiritual herbs should be able to raise my cultivation to the 4th heaven of the Dao Gate Realm. Spirit herbs are still the best. Su Yin secretly estimated that at the rate he was absorbing the essence of heaven and earth, he estimated that it would take him at least 3 years to open a door. He couldn't help but sigh at the benefits of heavenly materials and earthly treasures, which could save him a lot of time. All right, I almost forgot about this. Su Yin smiled and took out the phoenix hairpin. Looking at the spatial treasure, Su Yin sighed slightly. Bamboo Moon was now the Big Dipper Star Hall Master, the most powerful woman in the Big Dipper Star region. Although I saved Bamboo Moon's life, she also gave me so many treasures. If there's nothing urgent, it's better not to trouble her. Su Yin opened the phoenix hairpin's spatial treasure and took out the astral treasure. Although it was the lowest grade astral treasure, its value was needless to say. This thing is too troublesome. I can't let it see the light of day in the Alcade Star region. How can I sell it? Su Yin thought to himself. However, not far from the blood-colored mountain, a group of people with powerful auras came, releasing a chilling aura. Go Jingming had fallen. How could Go Ping not be angry? With his power, it was still possible for him to send people into the Star Tomb to investigate the cause of Go Jingming's death. I finally found it. I want to see who dares to kill my son. The leader was a middle-aged man. His sea of consciousness was releasing a murderous aura. This was a part of Go Peng's primordial spirit hidden in his sea of consciousness. At this moment, Go Peng could sense the imprint of the astral treasure. It wasn't far from here. This group of people quickly approached the blood-colored mountain. Su Yin didn't know that danger was approaching him. Now, he was preparing to rush to the 3rd level of the Dao Gate realm in one go. Then, he would leave the Star Tomb and head to the Alcade City to find a way to get the sacred medicine. Boom! The sound of the armored horses suddenly resounded in the area. Su Yin was shocked. He quickly stood up and looked at Ping Chuan. There was a group of people approaching. Their auras were extremely powerful. They were riding precious horses and were rushing towards this place. Their destination is here. What a dense, murderous aura. These people are very strong. Could it be that they know that Go Jingming is dead and have already found this place? But how do they know that Go Jingming is dead? Su Yin was shocked. These people's target was obviously the blood-colored mountain. Just as Su Yin was puzzled, his expression changed. I almost forgot. Back then, I still had the imprint of the Tower of Trials and found Zhu Yan's lair. Su Yan's expression changed. With Go Jingming's strength, it was impossible for him to control this sex treasure. Could it be that Go Jingming's father had already arrived here? Su Yin had a headache. He had only been here for a short while, and he had already provoked the Alcade Palace Hall. The Alcade Palace Hall was the overlord of the Alcade planet. What should I do? Su Yin thought calmly. Soon, he made a decision. He would execute the chi of the chi of the chi of the chi of the occult sect and conceal his body. At the same time, Su Yin hid in the remnant array. At this moment, the group of soldiers had already rushed over. Their auras were very powerful. Every one of them was more shocking than Go Jingming. Most of them were middle-aged men. Open for me. A powerful cavalryman threw out a huge array-breaking disc and opened the remnant array of the huge mountain. They rushed all the way to the summit. Who the hell did this? There was a corpse on the summit. The middle-aged man in the lead roared crazily. He could already feel the killing intent emitted by Go Peng's soul. This was the vice palace master of the Alcade Palace Hall. Boom! Go Peng's soul was very powerful. He found Go Jingming's ruined body and drew out the remaining chi of resentment from before his death. This old bastard has a great divine ability. Let's leave quickly. Su Yin carefully moved downwards. Go Peng's soul was too shocking. It could actually manifest the scene of Go Jingming's death through a strand of resentment. The scene was very blurry, but Go Jingming saw the true dragon's blood. He saw a shadow comparable to Gu Xing, who killed Go Jingming with a single fist. Go Peng let out a wild roar that shook the heavens. Originally, the young disciples of the Alcade Palace Hall were sent here to gain experience. Who would have thought that Go Jingming would die here? He even found the true dragon's precious blood. What kind of amazing fortune was this? I don't care who you are. I will make you suffer until you die. Go Peng's eyes emitted a vicious aura. At this moment, he sensed a strange aura faintly emerging from the foot of the mountain. Get out here. His soul burned fiercely. He opened his ice-cold eyes and stared at a blurry shadow at the foot of the mountain. I've been discovered. Su Yin instantly erupted. He no longer hid his body. He stimulated the energy of the earth and madly rushed out. Chase after him. It's him. No matter what price we have to pay, we have to catch him. Go Peng's malevolent voice made the cavalrymen charge down in anger. They took out their killing weapons and chased after Su Yin. In the process of chasing, Go Peng's anger burned even more because he discovered that Su Yin was not even at the transcendent realm. He only grasped a few array Dao techniques. Go Jingming's death was too sullen. He died in the hands of a little cultivator. Rumble. The mountain forest was in chaos. Surging killing intent swept over like a wave. More than 10 cavalrymen released terrifying auras. They took out all kinds of killing weapons and attacked in the direction of Su Yin. Su Yin shifted his position and followed the energy of the earth to cross the vast sky. Although his speed was not very fast, with the help of the energy of the earth, these cavalrymen would not be able to catch up to him in a short period of time. However, as time passed, these cavalrymen would soon catch up to him. Su Yin's eyes were calm. He did not say a word and madly ran in a direction. You can't escape. When this old man catches you, I will torture you to death. Go Peng's venomous voice exploded here, spreading far and wide. Some cultivators passing by were shocked. News of Go Jingming's death had already spread. Who would have thought that Go Jingming, who had such a bright future, would fall here? Old thing, your son's heart is evil. I'm cleaning up the family for you. Su Yan's reply made Go Peng furious. The cavalrymen sped up. They trampled on the ground, causing the ground to collapse and large cracks to appear far away. Kill! Just as these cavalrymen closed in on Su Yin, they all soared into the sky and attacked Su Yin like poisonous snakes. It was also at this moment that Su Yin stopped. He closed his eyes and released his aura, penetrating through the earth veins. Su Yin's state of mind was empty, like a banished immortal. The moment his feet touched the ground, the layers of incomplete killing formations in this area were suddenly uprooted. Under the shocked gazes of all around, thousands of incomplete formations were activated, interweaving into a heaven and earth killing formation, slashing towards the cavalrymen. Not good. The cavalrymen's faces changed. They did not expect Su Yin to be able to activate the power of the incomplete formations. These incomplete formations were very powerful, and now they had been constructed into a killing formation. The array-breaking disc could not suppress the violent killing formation. Rumble! The area trembled. Screams rang out, and blood spilled everywhere. The cavalrymen roared in anger. They tried their best to resist the incomplete formations, but their mounts were all pierced through. It is so cruel. The one who spoke just now should be Go Peng. Go Peng has been looking for the murderer like crazy. This person is very young. He killed Go Jingming? Where did he come from? He should be a descendant of some big family. Just wait. This matter will not end so easily. With Go Peng's personality, he will definitely kill all 9 generations of his family. The passers-by were shocked, especially when these incomplete formations trapped Go Peng. Hurry up and leave. Su Yin rushed out of the Star Tomb as fast as lightning. He was very clear that the longer he stayed here, the higher the death rate. Once Go Peng sent more troops, he would definitely be surrounded, and his life would be in danger. You can't escape. A middle-aged man drenched in blood rushed out. Go Peng's primordial spirit had left his sea of consciousness. When he noticed Su Yin was almost at the door of the Star Tomb, he said coldly, "Even if you are at the ends of the earth, you will not be able to survive."